Hey, have you heard about the LBL Massacre? LBL is a 170,000-acre paradise on the Tennessee-Kentucky border that is famous for hunting, fishing, camping, but does it have other secrets? When we get back, we are joined live in the studio by Steve Causey, author of the book, The LBL Massacre. He will tell us all about this mystery. Get your Coke, get your popcorn. We're going to try it again. See you in a second.
The Mike Weatherford Show is proud to announce we are now officially powered by TEC. If their fiber optic internet service can handle everything we throw at it here in the studio, from videos to calls and live streams, you better believe they can handle your home or business too. If speed, stability, and service is important to you, you can count on TEC. Thanks, TEC. Now let's get to the show.
Recorded live in the studios of Brewer Street Mafia. This is a Red Dog Fred production.
And now, your number one rated show, The Mike Weatherford Show. Here's your host, Mike Weatherford.
Hey folks, we had a little technical difficulty. It's not the internet, it's our streamer. Somehow or another, I'm going to give you just a little bit of an education on what we do up here. We've got a lot going on in the back. It's a complete control room. If you've been here, you've seen it. A lot of moving parts, and some reason or another, the catch is not releasing. It's just taking it, bottling it up, and just filtering it out. It's not internet. That's all working perfect. It's our streamer. We got that fixed, we think. Can you hear me? If you can hear what I'm saying, comment. Let me know that I'm coming out to you. I want to make sure we're going to start the whole show over again, right from the very beginning. But it is a streaming problem. So it happens to the best of us. And but going back to what we were talking about, the LBL Massacre. Have you heard about it? Hey, we all know about LBL. That's in our backyard. If you don't live around here, LBL is 170,000 acres of land. It sits between two rivers. At one time, it was settled by a lot of people, but they come in, the government did, and took everybody out when they flooded the lakes and all that, and it's been nothing but wild. It's got some campsites and a lot of other activities over there, but for the most part, LBL is 170,000 acres of wilderness. With that being said, is there anything over there we don't know about? Hey, it's possible. We're going to find out tonight. I have got the author live in the studio that wrote the book, The Massacre LBL, and he's going to tell us about what's going on at LBL. So I want to introduce to you Mr. Steve Causey. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you. And my buddy, Ricky Price, we're going to try it again, brother.
It's always a pleasure, Mike.
It always good,
It's going to be good tonight.
It's going to be a good one tonight. So, folks, like I said, if I don't hear anything from y'all, it means our sound's going out. Yes, everything in our studio showed the sound was going out, but we can't check because we don't have no way to check what you're getting. But our end showed it going out well. So, and yes, we do sound checks, and yes, we do video checks. We do everything possible. Steve, that is your history. Tell me a little bit about yourself and help me out here.
Yes, sir. I've actually a broadcast engineer for my career. Worked for Channel 5 and Channel 4 in Nashville. I finished my career working for Turner Broadcasting and CNN down in Atlanta, and retired here about 4 years ago.
So
and
you feel us back here.
I feel for the guys back there. I know what they had to go through. So. After I got a little time, I started writing the book, The LBL Massacre, and it was based on a fishing trip, believe it or not, that I had taken on Barkley Lake. And I had actually heard this story and back in 1998. And naturally, I was a little skeptical of it, but some things occurred. And I interviewed a few people before I started writing the book that convinced me that probably the story I heard was true.
Wow.
And one of them is a retired police officer, and his name is Martin Groves. And he wrote Beasts Between the Rivers, which published just shortly before mine did. And he gave me an interview.
He was a retired policeman from Robinson County, Tennessee, correct?
Yes, sir. He was chief deputy at the time of his incident in 1993 while he was on a turkey hunting trip. He had some pretty horrifying experiences, and fortunately, his deputy that was with him. And,
there's photos of Mr. Grove, and that's the sketch of what he thinks that the monster looks like, or what he drew, what his mind showed him it was. Is that it?
Yes, and that's it. And when I interviewed him, I asked him, this was his first book that's up on the screen. I said, did the creature that looked like that surrounded you? And keep in mind, they had a campfire going, and it was low lighting. But he said, yes, it was kind of stooped and humped over, but it literally, if you see a creature that looks like that in the middle of your campsite in the middle of the night,
there's something up.
There's something.
Now, whereabouts was he at LBL? Do you know exactly where he was at? And we'll get on to your massacre, where all this took place at. Is it kind of the same area?
It's a little bit further south. His incident occurred behind what's the current buffalo pens are, at a place called Rushing Creek.
Right.
And it's kind of over there's some high hills back there with some, actually some burial grounds back there. I think some Indian burial grounds. That's where he had his experience. The alleged LBL Massacre actually took part in the upper peninsula of the Land Between the Lakes. And the Land Between the Lakes is the largest inland peninsula in the United States. A lot of territory, over 300 miles of shoreline. And as you mentioned, over 175,000 acres. And actually, if you include the Tennessee forest, which is just south of there, you can say it's well over 200,000 acres because creatures and deers and stuff don't pay attention to boundaries.
They don't.
And
you're right, because really it's just the whole area all around LBL. It doesn't mean that when we're talking about LBL, it goes outside that area. Because you're right. So getting back to your story, so you heard about this on a fishing trip down here while you was working for the news reporters. So I guess you're inquisitive, made you want to find out what the hell is this about.
Yes, indeed, and I did more research after I had time to get it. Basically, the story of the LBL Massacre begins in the small Kentucky town of Grand Rivers, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And two police officers, there came a call on a public phone, on a payphone. Keep in mind, this was 1982. The time was believed to be April 7th. There is some debate about the exact day, and there were no cell phones back in 1982. So this couple came out, and they got on the phone and called the sheriff's department and told them there had been a murder inside the park. They had just been to the campground that it occurred in. So the police met them at this payphone.
What campground was it? Do you recall the name?
It's a campground that has been one of the key things. Is all the campgrounds were basically removed in that area. But it's up near a graveyard, and that is known as Mount Pleasant Cemetery.
Right.
And the name of the campground, I am not sure. We are still trying to research it. It was a small campground that was up there, one of the first that was put in. And I have never heard the name referred to that was the name of the campground up there.
Right.
And so that's an area of investigation that's ongoing. As a matter of fact, there are several campgrounds in the Land Between the Lakes that have been based. Down there is about a 7-foot piece of pavement, which is about 2 foot long, uncovered, brushed the leaves and everything off of. So it was literally erased.
Was it erased because of the massacre, or what is that what you're saying? I think I'm reading.
Yes, I believe so. And once again, this was an alleged incident that happened. I have never seen a dog man myself, but I was pretty convinced with the story because of a couple of factors. At any rate, these two law officers took the story, and as they met the young couple, which was up in the campground, and they refused to accompany him back to that campground. They were literally scared to death. And they refused, but they told him it was the campground gave them, on the left-hand side as you enter the land between the lakes or right before you enter it. So the police went in there, and what they found was pretty gruesome. There was a father outside of the camper, and his arms had literally been torn off. There was a lot of blood on the scene. The camper door was hanging by one hinge. It had been ripped open and literally was hanging by a hinge. Once they started researching and looking at everything at that time, many more units arrived on the scene, state police, and you had, of course, the local sheriffs, and you had several sheriffs from surrounding counties that came in. It is said that, and this is one interesting point of the story, which leads me to believe it's true, and I had heard that one of the coroners, there were a total of 6 coroners on the scene. One of these coroners was from Memphis, Tennessee, is the story that I heard. Martin Groves, and I did not know this at the time, but after I interviewed him, his eyes kind of lit up when I said Memphis, Tennessee. He said that is the regional area coroner for all of western Tennessee and parts of western Kentucky. And I did not know that fact at the time, which leads a little bit more credence to my story.
How would they have got there that quick?
Well, this incident.
I hate to butt in, but I got to ask these questions.
Sure.
The police got there. They started investigating. How long of a time frame was all these coroners get there? You talking about days, hours, weeks, or what are we looking at? Or do you know?
The massacre occurred, as I heard it, in the evening, and it was one of the first. The people that came to this campsite were one of the first on the campsite. This was early in the spring, April 7th.
Not a lot of campers in there.
Not a lot of campers in there. And this whole incident occurred from about dusk, which at that time, as much as we can figure, would have been around 5:30 to 6 p.m.
Right.
It was investigated on up until the next morning, well into the next morning. So there was plenty of time for all these coroners to show up. When you sit and consider, even if you drove from Memphis, it's 2.5 hour drive, something like that.
Right.
But apparently they called in this coroner from Memphis, Tennessee, because they could not figure out what had caused this carnage. There was a lot of speculation as to whether it was mountain lions, a bear, and what would have done it. Because the marks they found on these bodies were not marks you would find from a general kind of known predator. It was an unknown predator. For one thing, it had claws and deep penetrations into the back of the father with an opposing thumb. Now, What creature has an opposing thumb? We all know that humans do. That was one thing that really threw the coroners off, and that's why they were calling all these coroners in. And that was very mysterious. Also, inside the camper, as I heard the story, they found claw marks on the camper where this creature had clawed down, and there was blood streaming down where it had left its claw mark. And unfortunately, inside the camper, they found the wife of this gentleman that had been basically dismembered outside of the front. But before they got to that, they found the son, and it was obvious, pretty obvious he was trying to get back into the camper. I mean, she was not going to win this. And so they found those 3 bodies pretty quickly. But
so it was a man, his wife, and his son they found.
They found initially.
Gotcha.
And as the police officers or the deputy sheriffs and the state police went through, they began looking through the clothes storage and the drawers and the cabinets that were in the back of the camper, and they found clothes for a young girl, which would have been 8 or 9 years old. Well, this kind of, gave them some hope that they didn't see a young girl around. So this kind of gave them some hope that there might be a survivor, maybe possibly hiding out in the woods or something. So they immediately started searching, splitting the deputies and other law enforcement, rescue squad, and everybody that had arrived on the scene to look for this. And one of the officers that was initially consulted at the payphone, I believe, actually, they went together, the 2 officers looking, and they walked about 100 yards. I believe it was 100 to 150 yards is the way the story was told to me. And they started feeling blood dripping on their caps. And so they looked up, and unfortunately, a little 9-year-old girl was laid across a limb up about 30 feet in the air. And
wow. That's rough.
Yes, it is rough. And as the story was told to me, she had been eaten on. So it was not a pleasant sight.
No. Now, all this that you're hearing, and believe me, Steve, you've never talked to today.
Right.
That's true. I've never researched it. Did you talk to anybody that witnessed this one-on-one? Said, I was there, I seen it, I was a policeman. Is any of that? Are you getting all secondhand?
This was, and I will have to say, this was secondhand information, but I believe it came from one of those sources. And as I said, I was initially skeptical of
sure.
it.
Most people would be, because it should have been on the news.
Yeah.
Geraldo back then would have loved that case.
Yeah.
He tried to find that Al Capone's tomb. He'd have loved this one.
Yeah. And then the story gets even stranger from there.
How?
And I know it's hard to get stranger from there, but along about the morning is what I was told. Military units began showing up. These were military units with military weapons, and they arrived with several deuce-and-a-half trucks.
Yeah, you got some trucks to put in that right there.
Yeah. And this is an old 80s model deuce-and-a-half truck. Granted, it's not in great shape, but I was given the privy of taking a picture of it.
That's visual of what it would look like new back in its era. Got you.
They ran all of the state police, the deputies and everything, and told them to close the park, close off the perimeter. And one of these deputies had asked the coroner, as the story I heard was this done by a bear, or was this done by, wolves or something?
Or a person.
And he just simply shook his head. And so these military units began showing up at the site. They cordoned the park off and closed it on both ends.
The whole park.
And the reason I know it was closed on both ends, this is where a little bit of my research comes together. I used to run, when I was first married, I ran a bait shop on the southern end, on the Dover, Tennessee end, right as you enter the land between the lakes. I had more than 3 fishermen come back on that morning, and unfortunately, this was 40 years ago. Sorry for tapping the
You're fine.
table. I know that doesn't do great for your audio.
But you're fine.
But
it's good the housemate understands it on here with us. Go ahead now.
They came back, and were asking me at this bait shop. Keep in mind, my wife and I had just been married a couple of years before, and I ran this bait shop by the courtesy of my brother-in-law.
I gotcha.
And it was they came back and said, "You know why the park is closed?" And I said, "No, I didn't know it was closed." And at least 3 fishermen stopped in there. And this was back in 1982, I remember, but at the time I didn't write down a date or anything because I had no idea what had happened.
Right.
But it was extremely unusual for them.
So you know firsthand experience that the park was
closed. Yeah.
Okay. So because you witnessed that yourself.
I witnessed that myself. And I didn't put all these facts together until, of course, I heard this other story in 1998. I didn't put these facts together until a little bit later.
1998 when you started hearing about the massacre.
Yeah, I heard about the massacre, and the gentleman that told me this, I asked the question, I said, "Where'd you hear this?" And he basically said, "Don't ask."
Wow.
So, okay. So
have you researched hard to get firsthand experience, or somebody that was there that will say, "Yeah, I want to come out and tell you that I was there, I was an officer, I was a coroner, I was this, I was," to give it some more weight. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that would be a good thing. I think probably the person that knows the most about these creatures and these incidents is Martin Groves. He spent from 1993 till
that's the retired police chief out of Robinson County, Tennessee.
Exactly, the retired chief deputy.
Chief deputy, gotcha.
And he has interviewed a lot of people from the area, and I know he has good contacts with the police. I actually, when I was writing my book,
does he verify what you're saying?
Pretty much. Nobody except somebody that was there is going to know exactly what happened.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Causey. Why is it not on the media? How did loose lips sink ships? Somebody would have called and got the media there. How did this get covered up if it happened? You're saying you're not saying 100%. What are you using?
98%.
Yeah, no, you're saying I'm what word you just said a while ago? That makes me think that accusation is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, and I can understand that because nothing's 100% except death and taxes. I can follow you
exactly,
there.
Yeah.
But you would think, Steve, that somebody somewhere could verify this.
And that is true. But
any viewer out there, if you know it can verify it. If you was a retired, if you was in the military, or you was a coroner, or your daddy, or
you was there.
If you was there, get a hold of this man. I mean, if you tried to get people if you reached out to people like this, and
I have done that and interviewed everybody I could. I've actually put ads in the paper back when I was researching my book. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that were involved in this, the story goes they were threatened that if you ever say anything about this, you'll lose your job. That would be, right.
So would the reason be is because this is just a far-fetched scenario, okay? And you was probably headed there. I'm gonna help you get on this boat. Do you think that the military and the people, whoever they are, let's just say they use that word real broadly, know there's something over there, and that's why they come in? They know it's true. They know all this is no lie. It's all there. And what are they protecting us from? Our own self, or not, or what? What would you say?
Yeah, I would speculate that yes, that is true. And as a matter of fact, I do have some sources on something that I'll tell you about the modern day way they handle these creatures. At that time, I think it was more of a surprise to them. Like I say, when you put 6 coroners on a site, obviously somebody's trying to figure out what killed these. They're up to something. And nowadays, and this is in my second edition, I'll go into how they handle this. And I have this from direct sources, but I am not at liberty to give their names. And
I got you.
I will not give their names. But at that time, they didn't know. So as the story You'll never have the same career, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know that for a fact.
Have you been threatened?
So far, no, and I hope not to be. Okay. But I understand that, Martin may have.
Okay.
But I don't know that. You would have to ask him. But yes, that is the gist of the story. Then the completion of the story is these police officers on the outskirts, after the military had arrived, they'd all been pushed out. They began to hear the reports from several automatic weapons. I mean, these were not one or two automatic weapons. They were several automatic weapons. And as I heard it, that some of the DNR agents, and I'm sure you know what those are, were actually allowed back on the scene, and this kind of leaked out. They observed about 7 to 8 military men loading a large creature on the back of this deuce-and-a-half truck, which we showed you earlier. Now, a deuce-and-a-half truck in the 80s had a bed that was almost 13 foot long. They said this creature took up most of that truck bed.
Wow.
It was large, and it had the head of a dog, about 2 to 3 times the size of a dog. They said the stench was so horrible, and also I forgot to mention a lot of the personnel on the scene at the camper were throwing up, and these are law enforcement officers.
Just from the smell of
From
that
the smell in the camper. And I was once volunteer with the rescue squad in Macon County, Tennessee, and I can tell you it's extremely unusual for trained law enforcement officers to throw up. I mean, they're used to seeing car wrecks that would upset most people. I've seen a few myself.
So we think the military was sent in to kill this creature.
Yes, they were sent in to kill this creature. They accomplished it. They did remove, the story I heard once again, that they did remove a creature from here. This was not publicized or anything. It was kept silent.
Wow. So you think, this is pure speculation, Ricky, do you think the reason why, if all this is true, they don't think we can handle it? There was a movie that said you can't handle the truth. Do you think they
that's what I'm saying. I mean, 40 years ago, somebody's got to handle it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, a viewer said a man named Roger has information about this. He told him to reach out to us, but he hasn't as far. Do you know a Roger?
Yes, Cryptid Studies Institute is one of the groups that I recommend. I know the people that run the site. It's a very good, credible site, and I had talked to them a little bit about Roger's story before this happened, and the brother-in-law of the primary site, Eliza Henderson, had given me permission to use his story. I just did a brief 1 page on his story.
Roger's story?
Roger's story. Roger, said that he was there and that he had rode under the camper and hit under the drive shaft. And he said it may have been 2 creatures. So his story is a valid, story. I don't know that's exactly. There are more questions than there are answers with this. And his story was that he was there, and he also places military on the scene. And so, it's credibility. However, it's a credible story. I don't know that it's the real story or not, but it could be one story, because I believe there have been more than one family killed in similar fashion.
In LBL?
In the LBL, yeah.
Did it happen in campgrounds? Did it happen?
Campgrounds primarily.
Right. Well, that's where people gather at,
right.
basically.
Yes. Right.
Is it still going on?
Yes. The latest incident happened last year. As a matter of fact, and Martin probably knows more about this than I do, but
Martin Groves.
Yeah. The latest incident that I heard, none of this is verified or anything, but there was a man that his wife had dropped him off in the land between the lakes up in the Upper Peninsula, and he'd been fished a couple of days. Well, There were a couple boats early in the morning.
So they're up in Kentucky, way up north Kentucky is where you're talking about.
Yeah, that does not necessarily mean that all these creatures are up in the northern part.
I understand,
these creatures have been sighted.
See, I don't know. I hunt a lot in LBL, and I've been all over LBL, camped over, camped out in the woods hunting, and but I didn't go on the Kentucky side.
Yeah.
Now when I go back, I'll have to have a guard. Yeah. Let's sleep. Ricky, if you go with me, let's sleep in shifts.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're talking Grand Rivers. That's up on the northern side.
Yeah.
That's on the very northern end of
it.
Is. Yeah. That's the story. And the first person to become, and I'll tell you a little bit about the most recent
story. This is interesting to me.
Jan Thompson was the first person to become, to publicly say anything about this, and she wrote some memoirs of her experience with these two police officers that showed up. She was actually a night attendant at a gas station, and these police officers showed up early in the morning after they had told them to leave the scene, the military and the federal authorities that took over. And she said they were throwing up. They eventually told her the story, and she was first, to my knowledge, to publish anything or to tell of this story, and I believe that was in 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, I remember something about it.
Yeah.
Is any of the victims' family? Do we know who the family of victims was? Their names or anything, or their family, or?
Yeah, it's as far as my story goes. Keep in mind, I was told this story, while I was fishing and stuff. There were no names mentioned, but I think in Roger's account there are some names mentioned. And
wow.
So
have you reached out to that family? Maybe?
I don't know. I haven't personally. Right. I don't know that anybody's reached out. I think there has been some research on it, and I'm not sure.
I guess that's crazy questions, but I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, family. There's family members, that want an answer to what happened to their loved ones.
Yeah. Exactly.
I got a daughter named Jessie. I think that Dogman have a hell of a fight on his hands. But, because in her purse, she's got a gun, she's got pepper spray. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, if it happened to my family, there's no way the military would stop me. I've got 3 children and 10 grandkids. If it happened in my family, Katie barred the damn door. Mike's got a microphone, and Mike's going to be talking. I don't know how that family could be shut out. It not doubting what you're saying. Worst off, Steve, I'm not saying what you're saying is not true, but you made it crystal clear that you're getting the information from someone else, and I understand that.
Right.
And you're 98% sure that it's a true story. That gives it some weight, too, because your credentials are pretty good credentials. You're not known to be a quack, none of that stuff, like me and Ricky are. We're known to be.
You're not like a Mike Weatherford.
Yeah, we're not like that. But
most people think anybody that has anything to do with cryptids a little out there anyway.
Well,
so
you're right. You got to wear the badge.
Exactly. Yeah.
But how could? And this is something that I'm sure the viewers are wanting to question. I can't see none of the questions. I got a little monitor. Dana puts me some stuff up here, but I don't see what's live. I don't see that. But my question is, how can the family keep this secret? I would be, unless they're paid off. There's no amount of money, Ricky or Steve, to make me shut my mouth about something like that. And is that a valid question?
It is a valid question, and that goes back to Martin's, and once again, Martin gave me permission to talk about his books and anything.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
His experience was similar. He had gone down, although it was just him and his deputy partner, they had gone down to go turkey hunting, and they had got...
Not his first time, I'm sure.
No, he'd been down in different places, but this was the first time he had been at this particular area.
Yeah, but I'm talking about LBL was not new to him. He was familiar with LBL,
and
correct?
He was an experienced hunter, too.
Law enforcement.
Yeah, law enforcement, an experienced investigator. And he had gone down there, and basically him and his deputy partner had said something. It was getting close to dusk, and he had gone a pretty good ways tracking turkeys, and had come back. And something that he described, he thought at first was a man in a ghillie suit was walking behind him, and he would only get glimpses of it. And he kind of hollered out, I think, if I recall, and said, I'm a deputy sheriff. Once he got to the campsite and everything.
Yeah, he could have been a threat to him.
Yeah. But these things surrounded them, and literally he got a good look at one of these things that came up pretty close. It kept approaching him.
Was it dark or daylight or then?
It was dusk turning into darkness.
It seems to me like the common denominators, they like dusk, them animals.
They are primarily nocturnal animals.
Gotcha. Remember, we got to sleep in shifts, Ricky, but go ahead.
That's right.
Yeah. But at any rate, they wound up, he said that he got a glimpse of this from the firelight and everything. And he said he could tell it was a creature, and they were surrounded. And his deputy, who also was at the scene and everything too, had a double-barrel 10-gauge shotgun. And
for a turkey?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Go ahead.
Yeah.
He likes heavy armament.
Yeah, he likes.
Well, no turkey left.
He likes to shoot them, kill them, skin them, and eat them with one shot. Go ahead.
There you go. And so they basically were surrounded by these things, and
I'd have shot one of them.
he said this thing, well, he got to that point. He said this thing had mind spoken. A lot of people call it telepathy once he got a glimpse of it and everything. And he just got glimpses of it. And he also thought there was a bigger creature involved with this, possibly a Bigfoot, which he didn't know whether they were working together or whether it was.
What was they doing? Just circle them like Indians or what?
Yeah, they were. They threw a stone down from a hill, which landed close to their campsite, which is pretty typical as you hear of Bigfoot activity. But once this thing kept coming in on him from the roadside. He described a road. And Martin would be better to do this, but
sure, I understand.
Once it got closer to him and everything, either through telepathy, he called it mind spoke him and told him, "I'm going to kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it," and which would scare me, obviously, very much.
Oh, there'd been hell to pay then. It'd been a challenge.
But he started reciting the Lord's Prayer.
Yes, sir.
And he's a religious man and everything, and he kind of snapped out of that. It was almost like it was feeding off his energy. He raised up his weapon and fired, and in the muzzle flash, he fired a few rounds, and about almost the same time, his deputy partner fired the opposite direction where he saw this creature with both barrels of the 10-gauge, and they heard screams, but the muzzle flashes were almost like you take a photograph.
Yeah.
He could see this thing clearly, and the picture that was up a few minutes ago on his book is what he described. So obviously, if you have something in your camp that looks like that,
oh hell no, there ain't gonna be nothing in my camp like that. What in the heck?
You're not gonna be.
Did he find any blood where they hit him?
No, they hightailed it out there in the time that after they fired the shots and everything. He said this thing ran up a ridge or almost a hill so rapidly. Sorry for the mics back there again. Ran up the hill so rapidly that that was their chance. And his deputies started running toward the truck, got into it, which was not terrible distance away from their campsite. And he jumped in the back of the pickup, and they were heading out of there as fast as they could. He said when he turned around and looked, he could see these things tearing up. They left everything, their tent and everything. They could see it tearing up their tent, going through the campsite, and literally just, tearing it apart.
Wow.
As if you're not supposed to be here. And
well, is there any, another question. I'm so far off on my time. We was late with this streaming issue. Kevin's saying keep going. Are we out going live, I guess? Y'all can still hear us, I hope. All right. He said everything's good. My question is this. Did anything go on back? Any stories, Steve, that happened back in the day before modern time when there was people living in LBL? Can you go back and say, hey, there's even cases of people that lived there? Because it was populated back. They used to smell the iron. They logged it, and there was little farms and houses.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, sir. As early as the 1700s, when the Shawnee Indians were occupying the lower... Shawnee occupied some of the lower rivers. At that time, it was between the rivers. As you know, they flooded, made Kentucky Lake and Barkley Lake in the 40s and 60, right. I believe was Barkley. Warned there were French settlers coming in. They were called the Long Hunters because they would stay out hunting, for periods of time. They were fur trappers, basically.
Yeah.
And the Shawnee and them developed a relationship. This is also in my book, and I believe Martin speaks of it to a great extent too. But they developed, they were able to communicate with the Shawnee, and they actually developed a working relationship with them, even though they were, on the same general territory.
Shawnee Indians and LBL.
Yes.
Well, I see my mother's, that's my bloodline is Choctaw, and that's what I thought. I didn't know there was any Shawnee. I thought that was Northern Plains Indian. I'm glad I had to look that up.
Yeah, they were wow. Shawnee, and they were in there, and they warned these French settlers not to go north in certain areas. They warned them. And we know of this from the fur trade records, and Martin has documented that, the fur traders in Europe that purchased all these furs that they were getting and everything right. Came in. And when they asked why, naturally, you say, I can't go up in this territory up north. Their word in translation in French was loup-garou, wolfman.
Wow.
And they said, don't go in these areas.
There's always been a booger man.
Yeah, it's always been.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I was telling you, I have never read your book. When I do a show like this, I don't want to have preset ideas. I come into it what we call dry or hot. I don't I do nothing. The only thing I've got is an opening. It tells me who you are. I've never talked with you prior. You talked to the producer. Yes. You and I just spoke when we come in. Can I tell you I believe one way or the other? That's not irrelevant. My job is to get this story out to the public so they know.
Yeah.
I do know one thing, Ricky. You and I was at LBL this weekend.
We were there this weekend, yeah.
And if we'd opened that bottle I had, we might have seen Dogman.
Well, we'd seen more than Dogman. Yeah, we would have been a Dogman.
We would have been a Dogman. Me and Ricky been through them woods naked. But and I go through there quite a bit, and so do you. And I've told LBL they need to run with this story.
Yeah.
They need to start promoting that. And I'm going to ask my viewers, if I put on a deal at LBL, if I got a hold of the powers to be at LBL and we got the planetarium and I had a few people come in, and I know some people at LBL is watching me. I think Elaine, she's probably watching.
She's there.
Great idea. I want you to listen to me. And I have the public come in and tell their stories. Then I have Mr. Steve, and I'll probably get Mr. Groves and another couple people come on and let the public fill up that planetarium and let them tell us the whole, house. Kevin in the back, I think that's what you said. I forgot what I said. Oh, yeah, let these people tell their stories about stuff they've seen over at LBL. I think that's great. I think that'd be a great thing for us to do. Just put on a town hall meeting at the planetarium at LBL, because LBL, even though we call it Land Twin Lakes, it's a broader area. You get outside that, you're still, like you said earlier, deer and wild animals don't say, well, I'm in the LBL. They don't pay attention to borders. I think it'd be great. Anybody living in that area up there has seen anything or heard anything, and there's some guy says that he don't care for the made-up horror stories of this place. Lots of his family lived on for a long time, and no such stories ever passed down. That's strange. I figured if his family lived there, they would have told stories. Maybe just didn't get to him. And was there other things like this happening in parks in other areas of the U.S.? And somebody asked why all the secrets. No one wanted to know the truth. Somebody asked, is this was a campground or just LBL? I think we addressed that earlier. It is just mostly campgrounds. We're about we're campgrounds.
Yeah,
that's where the people's at.
Yeah.
We camped off grid, when we hunt over there, and Me and my buddies, we camped at different areas of Ballsville Landing. We camped there hunting, and but we try to find this place that they say you can camp at. We pull up in there, and we're a pretty good ways from the road, and we're kind of backpack camping, hunting. I've never had anything.
Yeah.
But you can rest assured now, if I go back, there will be somebody on guard duty at night, especially about dusk. That seems like when hell happens, about time the sun goes down. And you'll hear some shooting, and you'll smell something. I don't know if it'll be those Bigfoot, but you'll smell something if you go over and messing with me. I ain't playing with them. I'll shoot the hell out of them.
It'd be Mike running what you going to smell.
Yeah. That's right. You might smell something, but it won't be me. It'd be my britches. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to shoot them. But they was turkey hunting, so Mr. Groves had no high-powered rifles. I wish he'd had a high-powered rifle, because if for stuff like that is true, there is animals out there that we don't know of, but and we need to bring it out. But in people's defense that talks about Bigfoots and stuff, we didn't find the great apes till the 1920s.
Yes.
So that's not that long ago. It seems like it, but they was rumored to be them from beginning of history, and they didn't know there was such thing. To the 1920s, they found the first great ape.
Yeah.
So is there a chance that there's something over there that we don't know about in LBL and anywhere in the country? Is that possible? Sure, it's possible. But with all the cell phone picture cameras we've got, all the trail cameras we've got out, I've read one time there's 30-something million cameras going at any given time across the country. Why ain't they showing up?
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation on that, and I understand that it's good to be skeptic. But there's a similar beast that's been cited that's called the Bray Road Beast. And you'll see a lot of that if you go on different networks like Discovery and stuff, where they've actually done research on it. It's supposed to be a similar creature. I believe there is a breeding population of these creatures down in there. And there's two incidents.
In LBL.
There's two incidents. A credible witness was driving late at night, one night going down through the LBL, and a mother dog walking on 2 feet with 3 small little dog infant creatures, we'll call them dogmen, were walking across the road, and he stopped his vehicle. He had his lights on him. And he saw these creatures, and she was coaxing them across the road on the trace. You're familiar with the trace.
Yeah.
This occurred late one evening, and he was a credible witness. The other thing that happened, and Martin and I were discussing this, he's actually got it in his second book, which is Beast Between the Rivers, A Trace of Death, is there were some park personnel that were doing some mowing in a field that was normally not mowed. They told them to mow it. And the tractor with his bush hog ran over something, felt the bump. And it wasn't but a few minutes later that the people, the 7-foot creature, approached them, his cab, an enclosed cab. This is a similar, I'll try to get it around where you can see it or let you take a look at it.
Right here. Put this picture up if you can get to me. If you can, I'll move it back. Camera 4. Where the hell is 4 at? Over here?
There you go.
Right there.
A tractor similar to this.
Right.
And this was a female creature, and it started banging on the.
It run over it?
Partially ran over it. They think it ran over its young. It had just given birth. It had mammary glands. It was smaller than the males, or supposedly, and it literally was trying to get in the cab. So he turned the wheel sharply, where the back wheel, of the tractor obviously is where your business is. And that finally ran it off because it was about to get run over. He increased the speed on it and everything. I had heard that story indirectly, and Martin actually interviewed the person that was driving the tractor. So
wow.
this
that is firsthand experience.
That is firsthand experience, and apparently this female was in the process of birthing, and was in the field. Martin, once again, can give you more details on that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in that, but he's under the weather.
He's a little under the weather,
That's
yeah.
fine.
And, Martin's a kind of a personal guy. He's not going to tell you, all of his problems just as I
understand.
But that's 2 incidences. And also, this is firsthand, too. I have and I will not mention his name, I have a tracker friend of mine that's been tracking since he was 9 years old. He read my book, and I first met him at a marina, and he said, "I've read your book." And I turned around and looked at him, and I said, "You know me?" He said, "Yeah, I've read your book." And he told me, keep in mind, this is not an amateur tracker. He knows Bigfoot exists because he and I have actually gone out on a couple of expeditions, and we found tracks. And I believe one of them has been uploaded. There's another one.
Hold on a minute. Stay with that right there. Right there. Where's that picture taken at?
That was taken by Dewey Edwards up not too far from the massacre site.
That's LBL site.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting picture. I
don't know what I'm looking at. Maybe could it possibly be two?
Another second track in the front, right?
Yeah, I think that, what they're saying, that's the toes around there.
Yeah, that's the
But let me
toes.
submit something to you. I'm not a tracker. I'm a deer hunter, and I hunt a lot. Could that possibly be a doe with her babies following her?
It is possible, but if you look at the indention
I see the indention.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
that can throw you off, but that could just be, I don't know. But I don't know. But
I see to the right. See the doe prints right there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like deer print. 'Cause
Yeah,
up there
on the right.
in front of that knife is a deer track. See
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Now it could. The argument could. The argument could be that is chasing the deer, but that looks to me like a deer track with a baby following it. Now I could be wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing that you
imprint.
see is the imprint goes back.
But that it could.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you.
And I agree.
And over to the right of that, by that leaf right there, there's more deer tracks.
Yeah.
That could just be an indention in the ground, and that's just where them feet hit in. That's debatable, but plausible. Go ahead.
If you could bring up the photo that has the foot over the log, that's another one there, which is very peculiar.
It is. We have nothing to judge the size of that with.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Let me tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I can't judge what that is.
And here is one. This is a good friend of mine, and we go out. This was a Bigfoot track. He's a very good tracker, and this was taken in the winter. Now, what goes around in the middle of the winter barefooted?
Nothing I know of.
Yeah, I mean, if you do, you're a little bit on the funny
Let me
side.
ask you a question. Where's that ground at? Why is that ground clear off and the rest of it's got leaves around it?
That is close to the shoreline.
Okay.
Pretty close. It's
You
kind of right
understand
on
my
the
question?
edge.
You know?
Understood.
It looks like somebody cleared it off and put a footprint there to make
Yeah.
it so you could show it. Okay.
Yeah, no, but that's there are areas like that in the LBL.
Yeah, there is. You're correct.
Now, is that a Bigfoot print? I wasn't there when it was made, but he's
There's something there. I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
I don't see deer tracks in that, and I see, I can see outline of a foot, but
Yeah. Another thing supporting my story, and I found this underneath one of my reviews in the book, was actually, if you can put up the text there, this was actually something that was put under my review after somebody had looked at the book, and I think he did have that text memo. It's basically the review from a young woman.
He says you don't have that.
Yeah, it would be in probably a PDF format. I sent to you. It was just basically captured. It's several paragraphs. You don't? Okay. Well, unfortunately, that one didn't make the trip. I thought it did.
Okay.
But basically, the lady that reviewed said, "Oh my God, I'm freaking out right now because I just read this book." And my brother was 60 now, remembers, but he was 20 when he remembers going through the LBL on the Upper Peninsula and seeing at least 20 to 25 police cars and military vehicles right across the bridge, which they're talking about. I believe it's 68, Highway 68 was where the little campsite was. And she remembered talking to him, and he said he started to stop and ask what was going on. They had yellow tape and everything around there. But he did not, and then they
talk about right out when you go over the bridge on the right.
6880, right
Yeah.
to the planetarium.
Yeah.
Right to the bridge, on the right down that little hole right there.
Yeah.
Right there on the
We
right.
just did a car show there for LBL last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, down at Fenton.
Fenton.
Yeah,
Fenton.
I think it's 68, but it's right as you enter the land between the lakes
Yeah.
on the northern end.
Yeah.
On the northern
right
end.
in there.
If you turn
Go
right
over
to go
the
to
bridge,
Dover.
Yeah.
Turn right to go to Dover. Turn left and go back north.
Yeah.
Yes.
They remembered seeing
Wow.
at least 25 police cars there with tape and military vehicles there. And she said, she also made the statement, I knew this was a family was murdered there because he stopped in at the store, and I assumed this was Jan Thompson's store that she worked in. And they were talking about the murder, but,
Wow, that's crazy they hide that.
Yeah.
It's all speculation. We've been doing a lot of speculation tonight. Steve, do you think the reason why it's hid is because the fear that people wouldn't? Why would they not come out? Why would they not come out and tell the truth?
There are millions and millions of dollars involved with the LBL, and
I'm talking about just about the thing existing.
I don't know. They have a clue. And once again, assuming the alleged massacre is true, and once again, the story.
Alleged, that's the word.
Alleged.
Yeah. Like you said, you wasn't there.
I wasn't there. I didn't
You know
see
damn
it.
well me and Ricky wasn't there.
No,
Yeah.
we're still running.
That's right.
Yeah. I would still be running too.
Wow.
But
wow.
these sightings of these creatures are not just limited to the LBL.
No, it's not.
They're like I say, the Bray Road beast. They've been sighted in Louisiana. There's several occurrences of that.
Yeah, the Bigfoot is the hide and go seek champion of the world.
He is.
32 million video cameras, and nobody's ever got a clear picture. Everyone you see, there's always something wrong with the damn picture.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not. It's possible, because I keep going back to 1920s when they found the great ape. So is Bigfoot out there? I don't know. Evidence is usually feet tracks and blurred up images that you can't tell nothing out of.
And with AI involved now, it complicates it.
It
because
does.
you
What's
can
true
tell
and what's not.
What's true and what isn't.
Yeah, you're
the
right.
Patterson film is probably the most credible evidence.
Yeah.
They have tried to debunk it
They have.
many times
Yeah.
and unsuccessfully.
That you're right, but who knows? But I think I need to take any more pictures we want to show with Steve before we take a commercial break. I think there's some more stuff up there. Pop them up and let Steve tell me what I'm looking at here. Okay, here comes a picture. Now, what is this?
Okay, this is located near the massacre site, the alleged massacre site, and this is a bunker. There was speculation for many years that the military used this during the incident that occurred there. I think that's pretty well been ruled out, but now what did happen in the LBL for many years was the military trained in the, and it's suspected this might have been like a pillbox scenario training for the military. And I can vouch for the fact that the military trained in there for many years, because my cousin and I, with our little Mattel M16s, back when they were doing maneuvers back in 1962, I was in the first grade, we ran across the road with our M16s in front of a Jeep, some distance, not directly in front of it, and they slammed on their brakes because they thought we were the other team.
Right.
And they finally came up and found us and said, "You kids need to quit doing this."
Well, I've seen them helicopters fly out and jump into the lake down there. What else? Other picture we got? There's another bunker.
Yeah, that's another.
That's been there forever. I don't think that's an 80 mile. And why would they put up something like it after the massacre, unless they're going to keep the monster in there? I mean, what would they? That's not going to be a a place to hang out. They shot the thing, hauled him off. That's pre that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty well been debunked. Although there are some structures in that area, it's pretty well thought that this is the area that the massacre occurred in. And once again, as I stated, there is I believe I stated to you earlier. I don't know whether we were on. We were having some difficulties. There is a piece of pavement that I found that is about 8 foot long in the same area, about 2 foot wide, where obviously a bulldozer has pulled it up. Yeah. And they left it. It was buried in leaves. I brushed it off and looked at it, and I said, that's a road. These were paved roads in this area. Yeah.
Tell me again, Kevin. You know what he's talking about?
Yes. This is a clip that I'll want to give Cryptid Studies Institute credit for. And they've allowed me to reference it in my second edition and everything. These are sounds that are recorded from the LBL and also from the area up around Indian Mound, and it's pretty interesting audio.
Okay, let's hear them.
Yes, and that was going to be my next story. I was kind of letting people get appreciation. It's hard to get a full appreciation of some of these audios because I've heard people say that when these creatures are up close, it literally jars your body.
Did you hear anything that made you think, Steve, it isn't that normal?
When I put it on headphones and ran it through a processor, which is a spectrum audio spectrum processor, I could see tones that were real deep, and it's hard to appreciate these sounds unless you are actually close to it.
That one had a pitch of a beagle, and Danny can vouch for this. That one sounded like my best friend Fred. That's who Red Dog Fred is. He's passed now, but he was half Beagle and half Dotson. That one had his tone to him.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing. I mean, I'm not disputing it, but I heard nothing that I don't hear at my house.
Yeah,
quite regular. Well, coyotes, I hear no wolves. Coyotes, I hear them all the time.
Well, when we were out to the Hummingbird Festival, you had the coyotes. Yeah, I didn't hear that sound at all.
No.
Yeah.
So.
And it's possible, unless you're there actually a little closer to it.
That's exactly right.
But if you'll notice, when it comes to wolf howls and stuff, it's usually more a start at a low pitch and then up to a high and back down.
That sound like domestic dogs mostly to me.
Yeah, because that wolf sound we heard that night. Yeah. That's nothing like we've heard tonight. No.
Yeah, we heard wolves. That's right.
We heard those red wolves that night.
Yeah, they had them in the pen. We heard them down there.
Yes,
they call them in. I didn't hear none of that. I hear just domestic dog, or it could have been the animal.
Now, I have a credible witness. Actually, my neighbor was beating down my door one day trying to get a hold of me and everything because he had read my book and knew about it. But this is a former military lieutenant, a trained observer, and he has kind of his own business and everything. But once I did get in contact with him and interview him, my neighbor said, you got to hear his story. Him and his wife were headed back from Clarksville, Tennessee, to Dover late one night. This was fairly late, and the military reservation has a fence that goes up.
Everybody knows
basically
it. On
into
79.
Mile.
Yep.
Yeah,
all the way down.
And he saw something out of the corner of his eye. They had a minivan, and you know how high a minivan is, and so he instinctively braked. Put it on his brakes, which I think disrupted the timing of this thing. But a creature ran in front of him that was on all fours, that was as high as his minivan. It had a large, not a small, coyote in its mouth, literally dragging it across the road or lifting. I mean, it wasn't dragging it; it had it in its mouth, toting it. And he described this creature as having boar-like fur around its neck, its arms, and everything. It had human-like hands with claws that terminated in claws. And he got a good look at this thing because he was slowed down pretty good when it ran. I believe he said it was 20 feet or less in front of his headlights. It had dog-like black fur, short fur, and like I say, boar-like fur around its
What's
neck.
that mean, boar-like? What are you talking about?
You know, a boar hog has real
hair.
stiff kind of looking hair.
Like a mane on a lion or a tiger or something, yeah.
And he described this creature as steering with its front human-like. Once the car approached it, it steered away from it with its human-like arms and was, of course, using its back legs. And he said it was going fairly fast. It kind of slowed down a little bit to make its adjustment as far as getting away from the car. But him and his wife got a very good look at this thing, and he was a skeptic. He had heard something about dogmen, and he'd been camping a lot, and he said, I thought it was all hocus pocus, just... Yeah. But he said after he saw this, he said, I know they exist now. Wow. He was
only good
convinced.
thing I've heard out of that conversation right there was he had a damn coat in his mouth.
Yeah.
We need more of them.
Yeah. Lots of them.
I've got to take a commercial break.
Sure.
And we get back. I think we got a giveaway. What do we got tonight? I didn't know we had anything. Do we got anything?
Oh, yeah.
What we got, Ricky?
Well, we got 4 Murray State tickets to a ball game next week.
Wow. Tell us about what it is, Billy. Ricky, what is the...
It's Murray State. They're claiming to have a good season and everything, so we want to kick it off and give away 4 tickets.
That's right. Saturday, November the 15th.
That's right.
At Murray State. I'm sorry I didn't know where we had that. I guess I had so much... interference to start the show. It got me off my track. But
you run, Forrest, run, what you were doing.
Run, Forrest, run. That's right. But anyway, Murray State Racers is going to, it looks like it says
Nicholson State.
That's right, Nicholson State. That's coming up Saturday, November the 15th. We got 4 tickets courtesy of our friend Ricky Price from Pepsi Mid-America. All you got to be is let's make this quick. Second caller, you get your 4 tickets.
There you go.
We got you a place to go down there and have some fun Saturday, November the 15th. Hey, I'm going to give a shout out to James Bronner at the Point Barbecue. Hey, guys, hold on. Y'all have been trying this. Look, dude. He brung us cracklings, and they're good.
Oh, they are.
I love cracklings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he brung us some chicken chips. They're made from the skin of a chicken. Son, this is good stuff. Hey, go down there at the Point Barbecue. I think he got a place in Big Sandy. He's got one down here on the corner of Market Street and Rough Street, right there on the corner. Go in there, tell him you want some of that fine barbecue he's got, and tell him Mike sent you. We're going to take a commercial break. We get back. Kevin Kehl, the producer, is going to come out here and join us. He says he's got proof there's a Bigfoot. I don't know. We're going to let him try to convince me, your humble host. I'm already laughing at him. He's going to convince me, your humble host, that there is a Bigfoot. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Shattering the image of standard nursing homes and committed to enhancing the human spirit, Charter Senior Living of Paris is focused on removing barriers that can prevent your success and a better life. A unique boutique community with many wonderful amenities, we offer various levels of quality care in an apartment and floor plan of your choosing.
The care that Mom has received here has been phenomenal.
Move-in day was such a happy day. The caregivers there were so wonderful.
It was the best choice that we've ever made.
Learn more and request your free resource guide at charterparis.com or give us a call today. When physical assistance becomes a necessity, enjoy the peace of mind you deserve.
Chad Cox, PLLC, provides representation in the areas of criminal law, family law, personal injury, wills and probate law. Chad Cox serves Paris and the surrounding area. He does not believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to representing his clients. He reviews every detail of your case to ensure that you receive an assessment that is specific to the unique circumstances in your case. Chad Cox is located at 104 North Brewer Street, Paris, Tennessee. Contact us at 731-642-4446.
The Downtown Event Center is available for parties, meetings, or family get-togethers. The center comes with spacious seating and an area that will help make serving food easier. If you are having a birthday party, this is definitely the place for you. The Downtown Event Center is located at 107 South Brewer Street. Contact Jessica at 731-642-4992 to make your reservation.
Is your tank on empty? For best gas prices in town, fill up at 54 Fuel Mart, 1213A Westwood Street. And don't forget your other tank. Grab hot fried chicken, wings, pizza, and on Tuesdays and Fridays, the best fried fish around. Got a sweet tooth? We've got freeze-dried candies, candy bars, and more. Rainy day? Stay dry and use our drive-up window. Farmers, we've got your dyed diesel plus parking for big rigs. Open 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. If you're feeling lucky, play the lottery or grab a scratch-off while you're here. 54 Fuel Mart at the Westwood Y. More than just fuel.
Are you still undecided about your high-speed internet provider? Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Weatherford Show. Let me help you off the fence. TEC high-speed internet is what we use here at the studio, and let me tell you, it's flawless. From home to business, TEC got you covered. With upload speeds that match download speed, TEC leads the pack. Does your family play online games? How about security cameras and live streamers in your home? TEC, with their upload speed matching their download speed, it's as fast as clicking a button. When it comes to high-speed fiber optic internet, TEC is unmatched with quality and service all across the Mid-South. So do like I did. Go get you some.
Hey everyone, this is Jeremy Buckaloo reminding you to tune in to Sportscast with Jeremy Buckaloo live every Sunday night at 7:30 here from the Brewer Street Mafia Studios.
Hey folks, I've got another great show coming up next week. Have you heard of author, creation scientist, Dr. Kent Hovind? I got him coming in next week. The evidence evolution can't explain. He is a debater that can debate these evolutions that say that we started from monkeys or the Big Bang Theory. He says Jesus Christ made us, and he can prove it. The scientists get all this wrong. The shocking truth about Earth's real age. We ride NASCAR. This is going over at Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckaloo, the woman who shapes NASCAR's storyline. An exclusive Sportscast interview. Meet NASCAR's PR powerhouse, Amanda Ellis, Senior Director of Racing Communications of NASCAR. You don't want to miss this show. This is coming up this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. when Jeremy has got Amanda Ellis. She is the director, senior now, not the junior, the senior director of Racing Communications for NASCAR. That's going to be a great show. Everything you ever want to know about NASCAR, hey, it's going to be right here live on Sportscast with Jeremy Buckaloo coming up Sunday. And don't forget, over on our other show, the Tennessee Informer, Tennessee Day of Defiance. I'm not even going to attempt to say this guy's last name. Does he not have any Smith or Jones on his show? Look at that name. Y'all help me. Dave Rentschler. There you go. When heroes refused to surrender democracy, they fought Nazis abroad and corruption at home. So this is going to come up here Monday, November the 10th at 7 p.m. on the Tennessee Informer. Don't forget it. Also, Rotary Auction coming up Saturday, November the 8th. That's this Saturday. Bethel University, Elvira Low at 6 p.m. Great stuff coming up. Don't forget the Rotary Auction coming up at Bethel University this Saturday at 6 p.m. Don't forget, pick up your peddler. Hey, tell you what's going on. Every time you pick up a peddler, you can find every show that's up-and-coming shows to the Mike Weatherford Show. Also, everything else that you want to buy and sell can be found in the Peddler Advantage. Listen to this. Place your 20-word classified to run for 4 weeks for only $10. Come on, dude. $10, you can get it for 4 weeks. You know, social media, everybody said people still like to get the Peddler Advantage. Look through it, find all the bargains, something they're trying to buy, something they want to sell, and you can also find out what's coming up on the Mike Weatherford Show, Tennessee Informer, and Sportscast and Jeremy Buckaloo. It's listed every week in the Peddler. Go get you some. Also, good neighbors share a great connection. Don't forget, I'm going to tell you something. If you're not a TEC Internet subscriber yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. But if you are, and you got family and friends that's not, hey, listen to me. I'm going to tell you how to make it free internet. All you got to do is get your family, your friends, your neighbors to go over to TEC Internet, and you can get a month free. That's right. And there's no many as you get. If you get 12 members to join up, you get 12 months free internet. So all you got to do is just tell your neighbors how great, how fast, how reliable, how it's the best internet around, high-speed fiber optic internet. You get your friends, your neighbors, and your family to go over, and you get it free. Hey, what better way to do it? TEC has teamed up with the Paris BPU to bring you the fastest high-speed internet around. Don't forget, November 11th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Veterans Day, honoring all who served. It's going on at Trinity United Methodist Church at 409 North Wilson Street in Paris. It's going to be a great deal. It's coming up November 11th, and it's going to be at 6 p.m. Veterans Day, honoring all who served. It's going to be a great deal. Hey, find out about it. Everyone's welcome. And don't forget, Christmas in Paris is coming up 2 days, November the 8th and 9th. Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Over 100 vendors, free admission. Great, get your shopping done early. Hey, if you haven't bought my present, I'm a trophy boyfriend. You know, so us trophies out there, we want top shelf items. So you can go out there and go early. Me and Ricky, we're trophies. For November the 8th and 9th, they got food truck, picture with Santa, Christmas, mini photos. It's a lot of stuff going on, and you can buy that trophy in your life's present and have it done early. Don't forget, coming up November the 8th and 9th at the Henry Paris Convention Center and the Henry County Fairground. It's got two places going on this year. Hey, don't forget, if you want to find us, we're simulcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. I don't know where we're at. If it is a platform, we're on it when we're streaming. Hey, if you want to find out all the great shows, go to www.myparistv.com. Find out all about all the great shows going on at Kill Media and the Brewer Street Mafia. That's myparistv.com. I think we've got a winner on the line. Have we got a winner for 4 tickets to MSU basketball November the 15th? Who have we got on the line?
Deline Burton.
Well, congratulations, Deline. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Hey, what do you think? You won you 4 free tickets. Because that's where you live. You live in Murray, just right down the door from you.
Yeah, I live about 2 blocks from the
University
campus. So, university, and I mean, they are a great team. I wouldn't give you a nickel for their football team, but their basketball team, they're absolutely
Well, there
great.
you go.
I mean,
You get
those
free.
guys
You get
are good.
4 tickets to carry you and your family and friends, courtesy of Ricky Price and our friends at Pepsi Mid-America. Don't get no better than that, does it, Belline?
Oh, no, much better than that. And I hope you and Ricky get your trophy boyfriend Christmas.
Thank you so much.
You remind Dana in the back and Donna that the trophies out here, we're looking for our top shelf Christmas thing. Will you help us on that, Belline? Top notch.
Yeah, I'll help you out. I don't know. I know Dana will take care of you. I don't know Donna, but I'm sure she needs to take care of Ricky because he's a good guy. He is one good guy.
He is a good
He
guy.
helps so many people, not for somebody to help him.
That's right, he does. He helps a lot of people. Ricky Price is my friend, your friend. He's our friend. So, hey, Belline, congratulations. What's your favorite talk show?
Well, yours, of course, called the Mike Weatherford Show, I believe.
There you go, Belline. I appreciate it. They'll tell you in the back how to get it. And congratulations. And keep watching. You might learn something about Bigfoot and Dogman.
Hey, I've heard people talk about Bigfoot for years, and I don't know. I know there used to be one spotted down in Georgia somewhere. The ledge of Boggy Creek had a Bigfoot in it.
Yeah.
I saw that when I was real young.
Right. I think it's a bunch of barefooted guys with big feet out getting drunk walking around the woods. What do you think?
You're probably right. Around Halloween, you probably go see more of them because you can wear that costume then.
You're right, Belline. I got to get going. I appreciate you, girl. Thanks for watching. Tell your family and friend tune in because ain't no telling what you'll ever see on here.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Thank you, girl. I appreciate you. All right,
Thank you
folks.
a lot, Mike.
There you go. There you go. Belline Burton. She won her 4 tickets to Murray State University basketball game, courtesy of my great friend Ricky Price and Pepsi Mid-America. Hey, it's what it takes. We're all in this whole world together, and Ricky will do his part to make sure we all get a little bit of entertainment. Ain't that right, Ricky?
Just like Mike Weatherford would, too.
Oh, yeah.
We're all in this together, Mike.
We're all in this whole world together. But I was told something. I got to check here, and I will look at that and see when I get a second. But all right, there's nothing here. Somebody said send me something. But anyway, I have got the one and only. He is my producer. Most of the time, he's in the back chasing them gremlins. Like he had a hell of a gremlin tonight. Something happened to our streamer. We have to stream through these services to get all our show out there. And what happens is sometimes there's a glitch, and he goes crazy trying to figure out that because he's a perfectionist. He wants everything to be perfect. He can be anal about it, and that's okay, because I just let the loose ends drag. Hell, I don't care. I mean, what can I do about it? I just sit up here and talk. But he's freaking out. He does an excellent job. But he's also got another job he does. And he says that he is an official big feeder, I guess you could call it.
Big feeder.
Welcome to the show. Put your headset on.
Sasquatch.
Put your headset, yeah.
Myself.
But you see there now, you own everybody else. Now, hey, tighten up.
Tighten it up.
Tighten up. The one and only, the producer of the Mike Weatherford Show, in all of his glory, I give you Kevin Kehl. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you doing?
On this side of the camera for a change.
That might have been what happened to our streaming services earlier.
It's been a crazy night. I've been like, I got to get this right because I admire what Steve is doing, and I just wanted to make sure that his show and his presentation was spot on.
Well, it's great now. We're a
Yeah.
little bit late, but what do you think, Kevin? What he's been talking about?
I had the pleasure of meeting Martin and do an interview with him, and I
Martin. Now we're talking about
Martin
Steve
Groves, yes, but I'm coming over to Steve. I'm going to start with that because I met Martin first and then Steve, and I want to just reiterate that what Martin is very downright down to earth, and I believe every word that comes out of his mouth. I met him a couple of years ago, And then when you wrote the book about it too, it tied everything together. And I love the work that you've done in your book. And I've actually gone to the site and walked around through there and found those bunkers looking things. It's very interesting stuff.
Okay.
But I've been doing Bigfoot research since the 90s. I'm not like this Johnny come lately. You make fun of me all the time.
I'm not
laughing.
I can't. I'm not allowed to grin.
Yeah, you're allowed to grin.
Okay, go ahead.
But as you know, I'm from Florida, and I started the FBI there.
Were you originally from New York?
Originally from New York, yes.
Then he went to Florida, and now he's in Tennessee.
Right.
Now,
so
he found his home.
Yes, right.
This is my home.
I'm going to give you some credits, like I did him. I didn't want him to think he was just a kook Arthur. He's got a lot of experience in television. Now, tell me your experience. Before you and I met, what did you do for a living? Before I drug you in here and throwed you behind the scenes here.
Well, back in 1994, I started in television.
Right.
That's my broadcast career. And for 20 years, I've worked with Home Shopping Network.
Right.
And did everything. I started on audio and worked all the way up to producer and live show director for many years.
So you're not just one of them gooks that run around here saying those pictures, it looks like somebody doo-dooed in a shoebox, and you say this is Bigfoot.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They're called blob squatches.
Okay. But I mean, it look like
you
doo-doo.
take a picture if it's out of focus, and then you start looking for eyes.
Yeah, it looks to me like somebody doo-dooed in a shoebox. Can you see Bigfoot in this? I mean, no.
No.
So anyway, you and Mr. Causey both have got some credibility.
Yeah.
So start your presentation.
My
Convince
Bigfoot
me.
journey?
I'm going to eat while you talk.
Well, yeah, okay. I started my Bigfoot journey back, well, gosh, I was a young kid. Everybody watched In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. So I always thought that the Bigfoot was out west, out in those mountains out there. You really going to sit and crunch?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is. You remember 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's
when he took his mic off and took his headset off, remember?
Oh, at least he didn't take the headset off yet. Yeah. Anyway, so I moved to Florida in 1980, and I had my first Bigfoot encounter there, and I was shocked because I didn't realize that Bigfoot was all over the place. I thought it was out in the Midwest, or I'm not Midwest, the far West, and jump in any time. So, and then I come to find out that the Bigfoot in Florida also has a name called the Skunk Ape. It's a little bit different version of Bigfoot. You get the larger, heavier duty sizes out west up in the mountains. Skunk apes down in Florida can sometimes have more of like an orangey orangutan kind of look to it. Still tall, still big and stocky. But my first Bigfoot experience, I'm going to relay it real quick because I have a lot of other stuff I want to get to. I was in my senior year of high school, and we had just moved to a rural part of Florida. And there was the Anclote River was across the street from my house. And we had skipped school, and we went out there to have a picnic. So I went to go use the tree next to the river after having some drinks out there. And on my way back, my buddy looked over with this look of sheer terror and screamed, "Run!" And he jumped in his car, put it into gear, was spinning sand in the air. Before I could even get to it, I had to dive into it. And so him, there's two other girls, and me, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" He goes, "You didn't see that? What was going on?" He goes, "You didn't see that?" I said, "What?" "Something was big, tall, and hairy standing behind you." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me. What?" I thought he was just pulling my leg. So we go spinning dust out there onto the road, and we stop.
So you never seen it?
I never saw it, no, but it was right behind me.
Okay.
So we go down the road. We stop at a shop and go and to get some soda pop, and there were helicopters flying around. And the clerk, we asked the clerk, I said, "What's all the helicopters for?" He said, "Somebody reported some Bigfoot down there and around the river," because the river was circled around a subdivision. So was he there? I don't know, but kind of, well, there's a little backs up the story.
Okay, yeah.
That got me interested, and from that point in time, I was doing research into Bigfoot in Florida, and I created the FBI, which is the Florida Bigfoot Investigators. I think, Scott, we have that. Yeah. We hit every swamp that we could get to there in Florida, FBI. You see the guy there crossing on the right-hand side? That's Jason. You know Jason, my stepson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
So my first real...
Who's that down there taking a picture with that hat on?
That is me. It's October 2012. This is my first thing I want to get to. It occurred October of 2012. We went out to the Green Swamp in Florida. Are you familiar with the Green Swamp?
Yes.
Yeah.
How big is it?
It's huge. It's 3 times bigger than the LBL.
Okay.
LBL, you said, was 170,000 acres. This is like 560,000 acres.
Okay.
3.3 times bigger. So I'm out there with my buddy. We're going to do some Bigfoot research. I said, man, wouldn't it be great if we found some trackways or Bigfoot prints? He goes, what do you mean, like this? And if you look to the right, there's a trackway. So we start snapping pictures. And so those are some of the prints that we got. Now this is, keep in mind the date, 2012.
He only got 3 toes.
No, there's more there with 5.
Okay. Wow, that's something.
Those are good prints.
That looks like hand prints. That does.
The interesting you're going to find out about this is that it's not just one. It's a family. There were 3 different sides. There was a mother, there was a father, and there was a child.
Okay. You got some toenail issues going on there.
When we were there, the mosquitoes were so bad. I put a 20 on the ground for size reference. The mosquitoes were so bad. I can't imagine anybody would take their kid out there and let them run around in the muck with.
Well, you was out there.
I didn't have. I had my shoes on.
Well, I ain't so dang sure of. Well, there's one right here. There's where a
So
baby
right
and a
there,
mama.
this is the picture with the mama with the child footprint.
Now I'll give you that. That would be make sense, mother and father. Now hold on, man. Now you and I are pretty tight, right? Did you make that crap up, or you showed me?
No, I did not make
I've
that.
never seen it. Be honest. Tell the viewers.
my
Have you ever showed this to me?
I've never showed that to you.
Okay, why? Why would you don't? Because you think I'd laugh at you.
It's been on the internet. I've got it on my website. I didn't create this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know what you're looking at there, Kevin. I don't know. It don't look like crap in a shoebox. I'll give you that. It looks like somebody got some big old feet. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Now, what's he got here?
What is this?
If you come back to me, Scott. Oh, yeah. We searched for Florida skunk apes one swamp at a time. We hit them. We hit it everywhere. Scott, if you come back to me, this is one of the castings. One of the castings from that trackway.
Turn it around, let them get an idea.
So it does look like a human. We did bring it to a doctor, and they said that it is human-esque, but there are some dermal ridges in here that would not be like on regular human footprints. This is bigger than mine, and I wear a size 13. But feel free to look at that if you want.
There's like a hair hanging out of it.
I left all the leaves on there.
Right there. Is that not a hair?
No, that's not a hair. That's a leaf. That's from the cypress trees down there.
That's a hair.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
can see
that.
the dermal ridges.
Let me just eat that alive. Let me see that. Let me make that into nothing. I miss
Kevin, you know you're going to stir him up with that.
Oh, I know.
You know.
That's a human foot.
It looks like a human foot.
The way the balls, why would the balls of the feet be like this? That's just like a human.
People think that it's an animal. It's not. It's very, very human. It's very, very smart. It's not a dumb animal.
No, it's not. This is a human being foot right here.
That's straight from those trackway. Those pictures you saw.
But that is a human foot.
It's a human.
Look at the foot right there. How that toe's made. You would think if that was an animal, wild animal, there would be claws.
But it's not a wild animal.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. This right here is a human. Where's all the if you run around in the woods, this thing's pretty old. The foot is the animal. This foot belonged to is an older person, right? It's not an infant.
Correct.
It's
an older creature.
So it's been running around for how long? 10 years?
40 years.
Okay. Them feet ought to be tore all to hell.
Well,
stepping on stuff, rocks, and just cuts and briars.
Well, you've got big bears running around there. Their feet aren't all
but they ain't made like that. That's a human foot. But anyway, I'm just saying, where's all the damage? Ricky, look at that. Don't drop it.
I can understand your points. Can you talk to that, Steve?
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a foot. I give you,
it's a foot. No doubt, it's a human foot. I give you that. I'm just. Why ain't it damaged?
I reference a lot in my book to monster quests, and I properly notate them. But there is a DNA test. We know that
I've heard
Bigfoot
of that.
exists, and a DNA test up at a hunting cabin up in Canada, remote. It can only be accessed by boat or plane, and it kept getting broken into, and they put out a screw trap.
They put nails on boards in front of the windows and doors,
and stuff.
That's where they got the DNA.
They got the DNA, and this DNA, and I have this in my book and properly reference them for credit for it. But that DNA turned out to be 99% human with one 8 marker. Now, a lot of people will confuse that these are, monsters or whatever. These are just an undiscovered primate. They're living out there. They're actually, in my opinion, much smarter than we are because they stay hidden. And I don't necessarily mean that, they're out there building rockets or anything like that. They're not rocket scientists, but they know their environment. They know how to get around in that environment. They could be 2 trees over from you, and they blend with the environment so much that you will never know.
I'm glad you said that because I'm going to get to that point.
Let me ask y'all guys, what kind of life can you have when you live in behind trees? And they are the hide and go seek. And I'm not arguing with y'all too. I'm just being asked a question I know my viewers want to ask. What kind of life can they have?
Probably a wonderful life if you're in the one with nature out there. The American,
but
we
you
asked
gotta
that same thing
hide.
about the American Indians.
You got to hide. They can't, they're one tree over. You can't, and nobody sees them. It can't be a good life.
They're only hiding because of what we've done to them in the past.
But they're having to hide.
Yeah, but we've caused that.
But regardless, they're having to hide, and they can't have a free life. They can't do what they want to.
So what if they did come out? They'd be thrown into a zoo.
Well, not necessarily. Deer, buffalo, they just be another primate. The great apes, they're out there running around.
In
I'm
zoos.
giving you credit. They're out there in the wild, though. I just don't get it. Why don't?
They're just like people. They have their own personalities. Now there are good ones, and there are bad ones.
That's true.
And I want to tell you about an interview I did here the first part of last year with credible witnesses that live right on the edge of the LBL. As a matter of fact, across the bay is the LBL. They saw men in military uniforms getting out of a boat and going into this area. There had been a report of a rogue Bigfoot in there. They wrote it down and kept meticulous records of this, and I won't mention their name for their privacy, but they're also part of the Bigfoot Believers and Other Creatures site. And they started hearing M4 rounds go off. If you're familiar with M4, that has 3-round bursts, 3-round bursts, 3-round bursts. They would hear some on the north and then a little bit further to the south. And then they would hear it again. It would be a little distant, and then a little bit there.
Well,
they were herding a Bigfoot, which had attacked a camper, is what I'd heard, and killed him. Into a heavier weapon, because the next weapon they heard was at least 50 caliber. They said it was very deep and very heavy report, and found out a little bit later through research and everything that a Chinook came in and took this creature out. Of course, they had killed it.
Well, if it's humanoid, ain't that murder?
It could very well be murder.
Yeah.
It could very well be.
But they're good ones and they're bad ones.
But why are they killing them? Why are we not? And this is the point of I'm giving y'all ground on their being there. Why are we not letting people know and protecting them?
That's a good question, and I believe that they should be, because I have witness reports also of a family of Bigfoots living in this same general area. And I'm sure you've heard of the Sierra Sounds. These are Bigfoot recordings that were done and documented, and they were hearing similar sounds. It sounds very much like it's basically a foreign language to us. We don't understand it, but they were hearing these sounds as well. So me and another a researcher, a tracker, as I mentioned before, went into this area, and we documented small footprints, which were, human-like, and big footprints. So they were pretty sure that these were juveniles that were accompanying the
Let me get back to,
ones.
speaking of the prints, let me get back to what I wanted to present. Remember the trackway that I found in 2012? Mm-hmm. Scott, can you go ahead and roll that footage that's right after the footprints right here? This was on my FBI website, was submitted by Joey Bruce, March of this year. And look how similar those are to the ones that I showed you that we took in 2012. Same kind of look. Now this is deep in the swamps of Florida. Snakes, alligators. You just don't have people running around barefoot out there. Now, is the audio up on this, Scott? I don't know.
It needs to zoom in where I can see better. It's moving too fast.
Well, they're out in the swamp shooting with a cell phone.
Yeah, I know, but get close. Yeah.
Well, right there. They decide to.
That's a boot track.
That's not. It's got toes right there.
Okay, but it looks like boot. Okay.
Pretty cool. There's mud, and it comes up a little bit further.
Is there more down there?
There we go. Now I hear it.
There's tracks there from cars.
Now he goes up to where his buddy's standing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was really good.
Look how similar they're the ones they were I shot in,
like
in 2012.
Right there.
Yeah.
And then they start asking about casting material.
Oh, this is really cool.
So they go back to the truck.
If we had something to cast with, you think they're castable?
There you go. He's asking about it.
Definitely is. I got stuff in the truck.
You want to try it?
Sure, yeah.
And
All
here
right,
it
we're
comes
going to
right
go back
now.
and get the casting stuff.
Well, go back to the other one. There you go. So that was done in 2025, March, down in swamps in Florida.
He got a little hickory on that outer little toe.
Look at the toes.
Yeah.
Look at the toes.
Yours is more humanoid than that one. That's got more of a.
Well, everybody's foot's different. Even human.
Yeah,
feet
I'll
are
give you
different.
that, but that's something wrong with that foot. See how it's got the little knot on the right side. Everybody's little toe right below his little toe.
Yeah, I do see that.
Yeah, that's like a that
I've
right.
seen- I've seen that in past ones.
Let me explain something. That would be what you would expect from something that lives for 30, 40 years in the wild, barefooted, damage to their foot, toes broke, and everything else. That, to me, you know what I'm saying, shows a trauma from living in the wild. Look at deer. Look at horses.
Oh, sure. There's
there's
some have trauma, but some don't.
Very few I've ever seen didn't have some trauma on them because they live in exposure and they don't have cars and But go ahead with your story.
All right.
Go ahead.
Go to the next one, Scott, for me, please. Next one. And
That's
next
a good one.
There you go. This is a place in Florida near Tampa Bay, and this goes back to what you were saying, Steve, about how Bigfoot. They're very smart. They're not just living out in the middle of nowhere. They can be around the corner from a subdivision, and they're very opportunist. So what I'm going to read, I'm not going to read this whole thing because I don't want to bore everybody to death, but where that thumbnail is, this was a report submitted to the BFRO, which is the Bigfoot Research Organization, for a sighting done in 2013. The guy who did the sighting was it was done in a wildlife management area. He has a degree in wildlife management, wildlife biology, and has been working as a biologist for 17 years. And he goes into that area to take pictures of birds. Nothing similar has ever been found in the fossil record that he knows that led him to believe that Bigfoot existed. He's an avid bird watcher and wildlife photographer, like I said. And he was hiking at Cypress Creek Preserve between Interstate 275 and 75. He was walking in on a rather wide trail. Next, Scott, next one, there you go. And that's the actual trail. And I've been in that exact spot. And he heard a noise, and it seemed like he thought it could be wild pigs that run through there all the time, which I have seen. And he thought he could take a picture of one crossing the trail in front of him. When he was looking down at his camera, adjusting his ISO settings, and he saw something large move out of the corner of his eye, approximately 200 feet away. As soon as he saw the movement, it looked directly at him and him at it, and it was already halfway across the trail at that point. His eyes were directly on the animal as it walked upright across the rest of the trail and into the palmettos. It was very large, at least 6 feet tall or more, completely black in color with very wide chest from front to back. It was walking completely upright with a very fast, purposeful pace, and the animal was leaning forward slightly but did not seem awkward with its steps like a bear would be like when it's walking upward. He walked over to the area where it crossed through, and he could hear it still going through the cypress palmettos out there, but he noticed that the birds were not chirping anymore. So when I saw this report, I went out there myself, and I said, I got to investigate this area. So that's me out there in that area, and coincidentally, I was like, okay, I got to find out. I started trying to think of where Bigfoot, how do they think? Where would they go? What were they doing? So I went out there and I started following that trail, and I found a place that was like what I'd call the land between the swamps, and it's kind of coincidence that I moved here where there's a land between the lakes. So go back one more, I think it was, one more. Back. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead forward. My bad. So we came to a dry area. No, back up one. A dry area. And there were all these palmettos.
Islands. That's islands, yeah.
The little highlands between the swamps.
It's islands, they call it. Go ahead.
And you'll see the palmettos laying on the floor like placed on a bed. And you're like, you know, any hunter can do that. No big deal. And then next slide, Scott. I found this scat. I'm not a scat professional. I don't know what that is, but it's dang huge.
Did you take some of it?
I did, but I never followed through. I never found anybody who could check it out.
You still got it?
I don't have it anymore, no. I just took that's my foot there as a reference, and I'm a size 13. So go to the next one. So these are my two buddies that I was out there with, and it was obviously placed down there as a bedding. Go to the next one, please. The red arrow on the bottom left-hand side is the thing that's really interesting because that is the center of the palmetto heart. Next one is a little bit of a closer shot. It's about 6 to 8 inches round. And then the final shot came out of there. And all three of us went around one of the palmettos and tried to twist. It was twisted out of there and rip it out. 3 men, grown men, could not budge that thing. It was ripped out and bedding was made.
So it's stronger than 3 men?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. And does all that in 6 foot? Okay. That's a strong sucker.
Exactly like that.
Strong.
I forgot what's next, Scott, if there's another one there. I think there might be more. That's it. Yeah.
My son has actually seen a Bigfoot, and this was up near the Westmoreland, Tennessee area. Are you familiar with where that is?
Yes.
North of Nashville.
Yeah.
I have never seen one, but my parents and I lived across the road from each other, a very rural area out there near Westmoreland. And my son was, there was a hollow tree in the lower part of the yard. I had taught him to go out and squirrel hunt with a 20 gauge shotgun, and I told him not to go above the ridge on the other side where, you know, I couldn't hear him or see him. He was out there one day, as kids do, you know, just beating on that hollow tree with a stick. You know, that's something a kid would do. And he heard something large coming back through the woods, and he as soon as he heard this and everything, he basically started looking up in the woods, and he saw something massive. He said the footsteps were massive. He could hear coming through there. This thing was running across the bottom of the ridge, or actually midway up the ridge, and he was tearing through trees, and he said it looked over at him briefly, and my mother could attest to this because I talked to him. This was in closer to their house. He ran into the back door and almost tore that back screen door down. He did damage it, and was beating on the wall to get in. And my mother said that literally the blood was gone from his face. Mm-hmm. And, you know, beating on is supposed to be if I'm not mistaken, knocking. You tell me, knocking on a hollow tree with a certain sequence is supposed to be a distress signal for some of these animals, too.
Tree knocking's where it all started.
Yeah.
I became friends with a gentleman down in Florida by the name of Tim Fasano back in 2011, just before those footprints in 2012. This was before Bigfoot videotaping the people going out into the woods. It was really big on YouTube. He actually was like one of the people that started it. He was a taxi driver in Tampa, Tim Fasano, and he went out there with a Louisville Slugger, and he started that whole series of knocking on the trees and shooting himself out there on YouTube. And he got some responses out there.
Have you ever heard knocking?
I did, and that was my next story.
Okay.
That bedding was in 2016. So in 2017, in the Green Swamp, I was out with that Tim Fasano and Jason. And Tim was an older gentleman, heavy set, and he couldn't move around so quick. So I stayed back with him, and Jason went forward. And we turned around. He went way ahead, and we kind of meandered around. I stayed with Tim. And then Jason came back to me. He said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "What?" He said, "It sounds like there's a pile driver out there. Have you ever heard when they put posts in with pile drivers?
Sure.
Chikung, chikung, chikung."
Yeah.
He said, "No, I couldn't hear that out here." He said, "It sounds like there's a truck out there pile driving posts into the ground." So we eventually made it out to where it was. So Jason stayed with Tim, and I went around there. I hopped a fence to where he pointed where it was. And I heard the tree knocking. And my hand before God, it sounded like it was so violent, like if somebody had a Louisville Slugger and was hitting the tree, it was so violent that the bones would have had to have shattered their forearms. Yeah, it was bam, 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 and my hands immediately stood up, and I immediately did a beeline towards it because I needed to know what was doing this. But unfortunately, there was a swamp right in my way, and I had to go around it to get to it. By the time I got there, it was gone.
You find what it was whooping on?
No, I did not find what it was whooping on, but it was loud and violent.
I don't know. I mean, you hear what you hear.
There's nobody was out there. It was just us.
Could have been a woodpecker.
The size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Well, I mean, if there's Bigfoot, there's big darn woodpeckers. You got to be.
Not one you'd want to meet.
I understand. Is there something? I'm just messing with Kevin, but I believe everything you say, and I really respect what you say. I really do, more than you understand. But there's nobody that you know of is in outdoors more than me. All over the world. I've hunted deer in about every state out west. I've been there. I've never seen nothing.
I can address that.
Sure as I say that.
There's 50% of people that are out there all the time say they never see anything. There's 50% of the people that are out there all the time.
I understand.
They've seen stuff.
I understand. But what I was getting at is I'm going to be hunting this weekend.
There you go.
That'll probably be the first time I see one. But anyway, I mean...
Well, let's hope you see a Bigfoot rather than a Dogman.
I'm going to shoot either damn one.
They have a nasty disposition.
They are shot if I see one.
Well, like Steve said, that there are good ones and there's bad ones.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to prove
my friend, God bless his soul, I don't believe he's with us anymore. It was known as Bigfoot Dave, but he recounted a story to me that he was asleep in his pup tent, one-man pup tent out there in the Green Swamp, and he has a battery-operated noise generator to help him sleep. And he was laying there. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's going, sounds like a wave. He said something came up under the back of the tent. You could feel like a hand underneath his head, cupping him, and lifted him up almost to a sitting position, like he was going to fly out of the tent. And then he laid back down, and then was gone. He was out there by himself.
Why did Bigfoot do that?
I don't know. The noise, I'm thinking.
They may have a sense of humor.
They could be too.
It's dangerous. I mean,
he's an older gentleman, and he was not one given to making false statements.
That's not what I'm saying. It's dangerous if he's got a sense. You get shot.
Yeah.
You get killed.
Somebody start lifting upside my bed, you're shot.
Yeah, you go in my house, I know it.
You're going to get shot.
If my alarm don't go off, I'll meet you with a 44.
What are you going to shoot this creature with that's possibly 10 to 12 foot tall, may weigh in excess of 1,200 pounds, that's not going to piss him off real good?
Yeah.
About any gun I got to stop him.
Anything. When you come, when I wake up, he's got a gun.
I got a 308 that shoot 160 grain boat tail in. I figure I got to drop him. I can put I don't know, 4 of them in him pretty quick.
Yeah. I'm not saying that all of them are bad.
But I'd like still lifting me up. I don't, good or bad, you're going to get it.
Oh, yeah. You don't mess with me.
Hey, good or bad, you're going to get it.
My point is this, what I'm saying this for is we've got to stop the debate in the world. Either there is Bigfoot or there isn't. There either is Dogman, or there isn't. And the only way is somebody drags a carcass up and say, here it is. And that's what needs to happen. Now,
that's the pro-kill side of Bigfoot, and then there's the non-kill side. I'm definitely not pro-kill.
Well,
I don't think we have to kill something to prove it exists.
Okay, you can't prove it. It's been how many years? You've been trying to prove it. With them little old, looks like doo-doo in a shoebox picture. See that? Yeah. No. How else are you going to prove? There's no video out there. There's 30, maybe more than that. It might have been 64 million camera recorders going across this country at any given time. You know that there should be a picture of one out of 24 or 64 million, whichever number I
agree. There should be something better.
There is. Now, with that being said, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I don't. I'm a dealer of facts. You know, and I think it goes to maybe the way I was raised, but what I do for a living, working on automobiles, is facts. It ain't conspiracy. You know, I don't sit there and I have to know facts. I deal with facts. And that's yeah. But matter of fact, I have seen a ninja. Now, tell me my ear back right there. So yeah, I did see one. I did see one. But anyway, you understand where I'm coming from?
Exactly.
To prove one, you know,
you gotta have
you're going to either have to go out there, me and Kevin are, and take some equipment with us, these cameras, and video him and let me talk to him and find out, or you're going to have to kill it.
I'd be more scared to go out into the LBL with the Dogman than I am in the swamps of Florida with just a Bigfoot.
I've been in LBL, hunted, camped all over it.
I know you have.
And Richard Bomer, a good friend of mine, he was a sheriff back in my day. He's a good friend of mine. He worked afternoon shifts. Do you know Richard Bomer?
I have heard of him.
He's a LBL. Let me tell you what he wrote. He wrote, I just got here. Richard Bomer worked afternoons and midnights for LBL police and never saw or heard this rumor. He talked with thousands of vendors without any rumors. He said he did catch a person making fake tracks around a Hammerlight Lake one on north end of LBL. He said this brings to mind the snake at Crossland. He's right. That is a good one. Larger than a phone pole.
Yeah.
Now, Dickie works at LBL, worked over there for years. He was a sheriff of Henry County, good friend of mine. Him and my father was great friends. And somebody asked, what kind of sound do they make if they exist? I think we've kind of addressed that. They beat on stuff, and they grunt, and they growl, and they carry on. Now, Dickie worked midnight shifts, so but just like I tell people when I show them pictures of deer on my cameras, was that all you've got? Well, that's that second of time right there in an area, 15, 20 foot wide. With 52 million cameras, let's just say 50 million video cameras out there in the woods right now. If you tied them all together, it's probably, I don't know if I get what I'm trying to say, make my point. If you tied every image that they can make at one time, it's probably not much more than a mile. And a big mile view in at one time. If all of them went off the same time, side by side, only probably about a mile or two wide. That's nothing compared to the country, United States. You know what I'm saying? And it's only a snapshot of that moment. But there's got to be some proof. Tracks is one. Scat, man, you ought to have kept that scat. That doo-doo could have been pricey. DNA, dude. No matter how old it is, you should have kept that. That's important evidence, right or wrong.
Correct. And there's a lot of
environmental DNA. What I was going to get back to, I got some notes I wrote down here. You said environmental, and I've seen them do that. They go up in them streams in the Northwest, and they do some stuff, and they come back with that water DNA. It's called environmental DNA, and they say there is animals out here we don't know what they are. Now, with that being said, could it be microorganisms? Could it be a lot of things? But not denying y'all, and please understand I'm not denying y'all, but show me the pudding. Show me the proof. Give me one of them biscuits. I want to put some gravy on it. Give me something other than blobs and to prove it. I mean, I'm not challenging the Lord. Please don't. I'm not challenging the good Lord to show me one. I'm not. But, I just don't know, man. I mean, you would think, as many people as there are out in the woods, there's hunters that I know that's lived in the woods. I got friends of mine that's well known across the country, hunters. They've never seen anything. And you got Dickie Bomer.
But I've also had stories of hunters out there. I know I wouldn't say it's a hearsay story, but guy who's hunting his whole life out there has never seen anything till one day, 5 o'clock in the morning, sun's starting to come up. He's up in a stand, up in a tree.
Where is that, Florida?
In Florida. That's where all my experiences have happened. And he saw something crossing the field. And he put the gun up to his eye, and it was like a person in a ghillie suit crossing through.
See,
the
I
field.
wouldn't shoot that because you could get in trouble.
But then he realized it wasn't.
Yeah. How do you
guy because you could tell it wasn't a ghillie. It had fur. And he thought about pulling the trigger, but it was too human-like. And he's not the only person who's reported that they were going to shoot this thing, but after they looked at it in the eyes, they said, I can't do this. I can't pull the trigger.
Because it looks too human.
It's too human.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we carry some we call them things you shoot them and knock them out with?
Tranquilizers, yeah. There's been research in that, and you'll see a few different shows that are they're trying to collect a database of eDNA. You were speaking of that earlier, and they have several instances of an unknown primate, basically, like 99% human and 1% something else.
I've always been fascinated with Bigfoot. What got me fascinated was the $10 Million Man. Is that the name of that show? What was that show with his kids?
$6 Million Man.
$6 million.
When they did that.
Well, today's dollars.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, inflation. They remember they promoted Bigfoot, and I seen that and it was crazy. It was just like he was a UFO or something, and that kind of runt me on it. But I was always fascinated because I seen that picture. Come from California, white guys. The best picture, what is that called?
The Patterson film.
The best one. I looked at that. I've scrutinized it myself, but who am I? I just look at it with my own eyes, like y'all look at it with your own eyes. One minute I think it's really something, next minute I don't. When it looks over his shoulder, that says no. That was somebody done that to make it look good. Look back at him.
Bob Grimlin.
Yeah, and the Patterson, and
that part right there though. It looks good until he looks back.
Yeah,
it's like that's made up so you can see his face.
It's a figment of your
Yeah, I look at all that stuff.
I'm like Mike. I've hunted daylight and dark both. Yeah. And
have you looked for them though?
I'm hunting.
I'm looking for deer.
I'm hunting, and whatever comes across my scope.
Yeah. But it's not going to mindlessly come.
Well, I get it, but I'm just telling you, it doesn't.
You don't mean through the scope physically. Talking about
I understand.
A hunter.
These things are smart.
I know they are. And if a turkey could smell, you'd never kill one. You understand how smart a turkey is? Mm-hmm. If they could smell, the human being would never kill one.
Yeah, and what you're dealing with is animals that are intelligent, and particularly if dogmen. You got to understand that a dog or a wolf has 100 times the smelling ability of a human.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to ever see these creatures unless they want to either make you prey or they want to be seen. Mm-hmm. And
why would they want to be seen?
And that's my whole theory. Your show next week has got, if he created man, if we believe, fair enough. That's where I'm going with this. Mm-hmm. Now, why do we have this second species of a person?
That's right.
Why do we have this second species?
Rick, that's a good question.
If we believe what the book says, okay, I'm not disputing anything nobody said tonight. Mm-hmm. But why are we today? And I'm 70 years old. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I've been across the world and back. Why today? He created man,
in his image.
In his image. So
Rick, you got a good point.
And we're sitting there falsifying an image today. I'm sorry.
But the mountain gorilla wasn't there were rumors that they existed, but there was no proof for many years until finally scientists got in the right place and found the mountain gorillas.
I agree. Yeah. But these were,
I told 1920s. That was rumors.
But it was rumors. But
how long would it take to catch the panda
bear? Somebody just sent this. They sent me this. I don't know. People, I know y'all like to send me stuff when I'm on the show, but I can't look anything. I have people in the back that looks up stuff for me. Somebody sent me this picture right here, and I cannot put it on. I don't know how to get that on there, but Kevin, I want you to look at this, and what do you see there? I don't know where that got to me. It showed up to me. Somebody sent it to social media to me while we're live, and I can't. Folks, I'd like to answer your questions on Messenger and your texts and all that, but I don't even look at my phone. Right. But I got that right there. They told my ear to look at your phone. Somebody sent me that. What do you say? They said it was found at LBL this summer. I don't know who it is or where it come from. Do you see what I'm?
It almost looks like a silver mercury.
That's
liquid.
That is a spider web. That happens in tracks a lot, Kevin. It's got dew on it. That's probably a spider web, I would say. But I'm looking at the outline of the track.
I'm not sure what the track underneath it is, but I would agree with you on the spider web.
Yeah. If you sent this picture to the show or whatever, if you're still on her live, type in and let Dana in the back or somebody find it and tell me what you're. I'm going to say that's a spider web or something, or what was you sending in this picture? Let me know what it is, and Dana can tell me in the back. I don't know where this picture come from. I just got it. It says LBL Tennessee side this summer is what it says.
Be on the south side there.
Yeah.
There's something I want to talk about, what Steve brought up too, about breeding population. But before we do that, I want to go back to what you said about God and creation. A very, very fascinating thing. There was a Bigfoot investigator, a very thorough Bigfoot investigator, and I can't remember his name, I'm sorry. But he got out of the business because he realized of what they were. What he claims they are is they're demonic. They could be the offspring of the Nephilim. There's something spiritual going on with those things.
I guess
It could very well.
I'm not.
You familiar with that photo?
I'm just going by my beliefs.
That is this.
That's a whole other topic for a whole other show.
That is
I get
a perfect
it. So, yeah.
Dogman picture, assuming it's not AI generated.
Right. So go ahead now.
But we were just talking about the possibility. The guy said that he believes that they're demonic. That could be offspring of the Nephilim. Could be tying back to those men of renown, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But that's a whole other show.
The Nephilim were supposed to have been fallen angels that came down and supposedly bred with humans, human females. And there is a book that supposedly was deleted from the Bible. I'm not sure how much of that believe because I'm religious myself, the Book of Enoch. Mm-hmm. And that's where that comes from. A lot of people believe that could possibly be the case, but there's
origins.
Right. There's also a lot of information about Bigfoot. Once again, there's good ones, there's bad ones. There's reports of people who have been wounded in logging accidents and stuff, and creature coming along lifting the log off of them. And so it's just like people, they're good and bad. But one thing about these dogmen that seems to be pretty much reported as being similar is whenever you're around and you'll hear normal in the summer, crickets, tree frogs, stuff like that going on. They say when these things approach, the woods become completely silent. There's no tree frogs, no crickets, and a lot of people with still their built-in sixth sense, from when we were, I don't believe in the primate theory.
Well, and it's like a storm coming.
Yeah.
The animals will get real quiet.
Yeah. But except for crows and blue jays.
Well, I agree.
Crows and blue jays will let you know.
Yeah.
They'll let you know something ain't right in the woods.
This biologist in Tampa said the woods got dead silent when this thing came through.
Yeah. When you have an apex predator, and believe it or not, man in the woods by himself with a 300 Magnum you're not necessarily the apex predator, something that can fell a tree on you that weighs,
you take our tools away from us.
Yeah,
we're far down the food chain.
Yeah.
Right.
We're way down there. We learned far. We learned making stuff. I agree with you on that. We're not. You take our shoes and stuff away. Throw us naked and afraid. They can't make it. 24 hours? Some of them go home.
That's right.
But Kim, what else you got?
What are we to talk about? the breeding population. People were talking about in Florida about how come they see them in one part of the state and then are there that many throughout the state? But Scott, if you could pull up that first map that I have.
Let me say something while you're doing that. I think it's migration if it is going on. If there is Bigfoot, I don't think they stay in an area. I think if it is, and it's like every animal, buffalo and deer do that way. They follow the weather and they follow whatever they're eating. Are they planet? Mm-hmm. Are they vegetarians? Are they meat eaters? What do they eat? They're following something. If they're following animals, what do they do? Eat them out of the area? I think
which animal they're following?
Yeah, yes, right.
Exactly, and that's the tracker friend I have that we go out and everything. He positively knows that Bigfoot exists. He has no doubt in his mind. He's seen their tracks. He's also seen a dog track that was 9 inches in width, and that's why he had become interested in my book. He said, there is no dog around here that leaves a track like that. No. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it rained real heavy. He didn't have his phone with him. He was out actually squirrel hunting. And by the time he got back to the track, it was diminished to the point.
Do they think that migration, the Bigfoot?
He believes that they migrate, and yes. I believe that true.
It is true.
That would give more credit to an existence of a Bigfoot, because if one lived in Hico, Tennessee, where I live out here, one of us has seen it. So they may migrate, and what they're going to lay up all day. Are they just gonna lay up, lay on their shoulder and play with their kid? What you got to eat. So they go at night.
I've been night and day on these roads.
Yeah,
I've hunted. I drove at night, and 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 10 in the morning, at night.
We find no evidence.
And my whole key to this, if we find this, there's got to be some carcass left.
Yeah,
there's no carcass
necessarily.
There had to be the animals. I never find dead animals. Do they eat the bones? And where's the dead Bigfoots? They ain't lived forever. If they been here, they ain't relatively new unless you think the government made them. It's some kind of secret scientific deal. If that is, that's one thing. But they got to die.
How often do you find dead deer carcass out in the woods?
Every time I'm in the woods.
I do.
Common.
Yeah.
Common.
During hunting season? Or?
No, during regular season.
Regular season, they're everywhere.
Regular
you
season.
see them on the side of the road all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the side of the road is one thing, but in the middle of the
woods.
Yes, you see them in the woods, Kevin. It's common. It is.
A dead coyote.
My daughter was trying to figure out what this animal was. We found it at my hunting farm the other day, what the head was. What is that, Daddy?
Well, you'll find the skull.
Yeah.
You're not finding skull of anything.
Yeah. You'll find a skull and the ribs.
Yeah.
You don't find antlers much because the squirrels all eat that. But, you find dead.
They did an experiment, and they put a carcass out in a humid, this is assuming summer and everything, and they actually did time-lapse photography on it. Yeah. And it disappears pretty quick, but to your point, there's a lot of question about where are they. There's theories that they bury their dead. There's all kinds of theories about it. I have in-laws who've been in the LBL. I was in the LBL when I was a kid, but we were moved out. I went to first grade at Fort Henry School. So there's a lot of theory that, these creatures are burying them. They're a family unit, so when one of them dies, they bury the carcass. Now, whether that's true, once again, we're going back to I've never seen a Bigfoot burying another one.
No, is burial not a religious thing?
It is. Yeah.
So humans, as we are, we bury religiously, or what do we bury for? Yeah. Yeah, Smithsonian because still, but I'm giving you both sides. I try to stay neutral.
That's me. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay neutral. I'm not saying there's not Bigfoot. I'm just saying that I have not seen any evidence, and y'all have, and that's good. And I see your evidence. If that right there is a human footprint, you can call it a Bigfoot. That right there was. If we come to find out that right there was made by a Bigfoot, it is a human. It's a hairy human. Is all that is. Somebody got out in the wild. And that guy right there who made that foot, he's not lived out there long because his feet don't show no trauma. You see what I'm saying, Steve?
Yes.
I see no trauma. Horses have trauma on their feet.
Yeah.
There's no trauma on that foot where he's been, you can't live out there and run around a swamp barefooted for a year and go through what he goes through and them feet not show signs of it.
There are quite a few, and if you research this quite a bit, there are prints that have been taken where a bone was broken.
That's right.
And it shows up in the video.
That's what I would look for.
Yeah.
If I want to see an authentic.
And I have seen prints out there with
and I was trying to give y'all credit on that one picture you put up a while ago. Had a little knot on the side of it. That could be something. You're going to see trauma. There ain't nothing worse than stepping on a Lego barefooted. Because I raised my kids, they had them Legos. You walk through the house barefooted, step on one.
Been there, done that.
Oh, and you've been there and done that.
Oh, yeah.
And you walk outside and put your foot in that mud, it'll show that damn mark of that Lego. What I'm saying is me, the way I see it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying there's not. But where in the hell's the evidence other than foot? That footprint right there is if that is a Bigfoot, that's a human. That foot looks just like
human-esque.
Yeah,
a human.
I don't think that's human.
That's
could be human-esque.
Whatever word you want to use, that's a human foot. There's nothing in the world except for humans and possibly Bigfoot to make that kind of track. Right or wrong?
These creatures are 99% human.
Yep.
Yes.
Where are they?
So
they're extremely smart.
That goes back to my theory, my first theory, and I said, if we say he didn't make creatures, he made man and animals.
Yes.
I have never seen anything that said creatures.
I'm going to talk next week to Dr. Ken Hobart. If you know who I'm talking about, have you kept up with him yet, Kevin? The doctor coming next week?
Yeah.
Okay, I asked him what his theory is.
Okay. Can I go back to that map real quick?
Yeah.
Because they're really smart. And
can you believe that? The producer's asking me, can he, please? I love him.
Scott, if you could throw that image back. Thank you, Scott. Those are like the major woods around the country from the upper west, northwest to the Adirondacks and the
Appalachians.
The Appalachians up there, too. So if you go to the next one, Scott.
Hold on a minute. Leave me right there a minute, Scott. How come Florida don't show up? Because that's deep.
They've got woods, but they're not like major thick woods like
Everglades.
Right.
It's all. Yeah.
Okay.
Go to the next one, Scott. Now this is from the Bigfoot Mapping Project, and all those sightings correspond to where all those heavy woods are.
To an extent,
but you do see some down in Florida.
And I see some in the western part of Tennessee. What's the yellow and the reds and all mean? Is that stronger?
That I don't know. I just grabbed that shot of that showing all the. But if you go to the next one, Scott, this is the statewide Florida wildlife corridor. This is where the migration occurs through Florida.
Right.
I'm focusing on Florida because that's where I did all my research.
I understand. That's good.
And there's ways to start in Miami and go all the way up into the Panhandle. You'll never be seen.
Sure.
You're always following the rivers.
We have the Appalachian Mountains here. You can do the same thing. Go from Alabama all the way up to New York and never be seen.
The next one is the interesting one. The circle, the big red circle, is the green swamp.
Right, the big
circle. I said that's 560,000 acres.
Right.
The small red circle that's just outside of Tampa to the bottom left side.
Yeah.
That's where that sighting was with the scat and those palm things. That's right there in the
That is important. As smart a guy as you are, you're very intelligent. Why in the hell didn't you keep that doo-doo?
Oh, I don't know.
What are you thinking?
My point is they can live side by side with humans and you would not know they're there. They're that intelligent. They're opportunistic. They know where to get the food. They know how to stay away. Oh, nuts, berries, deer, pig, you name it. Right, Steve?
Exactly.
How do they catch a deer?
They chase it.
Okay.
A lot of people have.
I don't think he catch a deer. Go ahead.
Said that
ambush.
Yeah, they work in groups. You can herd a deer, as you know.
That's
You've been
right.
a deer hunter and everything.
Yeah.
There is one story that Martin has of a credible witness of these Bigfoot and Dogman working together in the LBL. And this witness saw, and I think he's got it in his second book, if I'm not mistaken, these Bigfoot were seen running these deer, the dogmen were seen running the deer, and this gentleman was up in a tree doing something, and he was actually getting toward dusk, and they were running these pigs into a, what do you call it when you run them into a
chute?
Chute, yeah. They were running them into that.
Corralling?
Corralling them basically into a
Who was doing
valley.
that? Bigfoot and Dogman was,
Yeah,
or the public was?
The Dogman was running them into it, and then the Bigfoot would step out, grab the pig, and slam it against a tree and kill it and drop it down, and that's how they were hunting. Now, if you've got a Dogman and a Bigfoot that are hunting together, that could be a sign that, yes, there is cooperation in some instances of the creatures.
I did find there was a picture. It happened in Tampa. I found it. It was a baby pig. It was originally that big, but I only found half of it, and it was ripped. It wasn't cut. It was like with a knife. It was twisted and ripped. I've got video of it.
Alligators?
There was no swamp right there where we were.
You know, that wasn't really Bigfoot and the Dogman running together. That was me and Ricky. We'd been over at the Buffalo Throw, remember? And they brung that bottle of liquor out.
Yeah.
And me and him had a little snort of that, and we was running through the woods, and Donna and Dana was after us trying to hem us up. And what you seen when you thought it was a pig, that was just Dana grabbing me and Donna grabbing him.
Yeah.
I worked.
They give me the pig.
I worked for a chief engineer one time that told me he drank a fifth of Jack Daniels, and he saw a black and white TV turn to color.
Yeah. Well, folks, it's almost 10 o'clock. We got a late start. I've kept y'all late. Kevin, how you like being on this side?
I like it. I think I might be out here more often.
Come on out here.
I'll pester you.
You won't pester me. I appreciate you coming out. What do you think? Is it been a good show, you think?
I believe so, and I appreciate the questioning
Yeah.
you've asked. You're open,
Yeah.
open-minded, but
Yeah,
at the
that's what I try
same
to be.
time, you don't. You're not naive to the point of being, and I'm the same way. I'm skeptical. I was skeptical of this story when I heard it until I interviewed a few people.
I can understand, and I can really appreciate that. It's just that maybe I don't know what about me, but I try to stay neutral, and I have tonight. Do you think I believe in Bigfoot or not? Y'all don't really know.
I got to see it.
That's right. But what I'm saying is this right here. As I ask the questions I think my viewers want to know, they ask me, man, it's hard being a host. You do a pretty good job at it. I said, well, shoot for the knees. Don't sit up here real tall and try to be proper and all that. Just be yourself. And myself is what I'm doing tonight, having a conversation with y'all guys. I tell them I am not a moderator. I'm not a host. I'm a conversationist. And I just ask the questions that I think is people would want common sense people to ask. It's common sense questions, you know. Why ain't they found dead Bigfoots? I mean, that's the first thing that I would want to know. I mean, you know, but
and even that, if you say bury, you'd find something buried in the ground. Mm-hmm. You'd have to dig. Mm-hmm. We dig 6 feet to bury a person, right? Mm-hmm. To bury a Bigfoot, 5 foot.
Oh my God, you'd have to have a whole great big. Unless they cover them up, but I don't know.
So that's a different topic. I'll leave it. So.
I'm with you, Rick. I don't know how they would do it.
And again,
somebody like me and you, big old boys, they got to have a big old hole.
And if somebody's come through the woods, anything that dies gives off an odor.
Yeah.
Whether it's a possum, cow, carcass, you're going to smell something. Yeah.
Where's the number one?
Or buzzards.
If I wanted to go to LBL and I wanted to go find evident, without a shadow of a doubt, to convince me, even though I'm neutral, and you admitted I'm give you the benefit of the doubt. I have all night, have I not? Been fair with you?
Yes, sir.
Where would I go? If you said, get in the car with me, Mike, I'm going to show you something that's going to convince you to think more like what I'm telling you probably happened, where would you carry me?
Well, once again, I would suggest you go behind the buffalo pens in the Russian Creek area. But I suggest you have somebody there with you when you go. It's nocturnal. You go there at night. You may not see anything the first night, the second night, the third night.
You talking about the old buffalo or the new buffalo pen?
The
one across from the smelter where they smelted the rock.
The one across from the smelter where they did the yarn.
Look, we was telling this story the other night. We used to when they used to hire us. Some friends of mine, I helped them. When I say us, we used to go. They get buffalo. We go down there and have to get them. They'd get out. We go down there and ride all. I've been all over that on horses back in there.
Yeah.
I know Russian Creek. I know right where that is. But we used to go out there and get the buffalo when they get out, or get them in them pens and stuff. We used to help them rope them and stuff like that. That's a different story. But I could tell you a funny story about roping a buffalo. You don't want to do that. Trust me, even a baby one. You don't want to rope. But I know right where you're talking about. And that's mostly open up in there.
It's open range.
Yeah, around that buffalo is all open. You get up in there, it does get hilly, and it does get some woods.
Back in those hills and closer to the Kentucky side on the shore is the area I would suggest you go back in there.
What would I look for?
You'd look for a lot of people say you don't have to look for these creatures. You stay in there a night or two, and they'll find you.
All right.
They can smell you.
All right, okay. We're going to camp.
We're going camping.
We're going. All right.
We got drones.
It's got to be rough camping. I mean,
I'm an old camper. I ain't carrying a camper.
Now, the LBL, the Dogman wasn't rough camping. They tore the doors off a camper. Boswell Landing, I've been there. I've camped a lot at Boswell Landing. Somebody is top 10. Dana told me Harley said Boswell Landing. I've camped many a nights at Boswell. They call that the Boswell is the overflow for Piney, but I love Boswell Landing. I've been there back forever, camped there for 40 years, been all through there. Never seen or heard anything. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just says I have seen no facts, nor have I seen anything that says there isn't a Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? I'm neutral.
Yeah, this is the place that Martin had his experience. The other
I want him in here. Can you get him sometime?
I will do my best.
I know his health is
Martin and I are real good friends. Since I met him, he's one of the best friends I've ever seen. Honest.
I think he would like this show, don't you?
I believe he would. And the other area I would suggest would be up near the Massacre. If you go up on the Barkley side, up around DeMumbers Bay.
I know where we're talking about.
Many sightings right in there.
Where at now?
DeMumbers Bay.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
Okay.
We can go out and eat at Patty's.
And
then run over there.
Well, we'll have to make a day of it.
At night?
Night of it.
A night. We're
all
night.
You're going to rough it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done
Don't be crying out the middle of the night. Mike!
I'll go with you.
I'll go.
We'll all go.
We'll go.
Carry a tent. You want to go?
Yeah.
We'll carry a tent. You find a hot spot where you think we need to go. And Scott, you're coming. You're bringing your drone. You hear me, Scott? All right, he said we'll broadcast live. I want you to bring your drone. And I'm going to bring some high-quality flashlights. I got some friends. I'll get the stuff that it takes to do it with. Y'all want to sleep in tents, or what do you want to sleep in? We're going to go with rough country, or we're going to the campground? Where we going?
Just a sleeping bag.
I've got night vision, thermal vision. You bring yours. What do you think we're going to sleep in tents? Where do you think we need to camp at over? Can you find out where we need to go?
Sure.
I don't put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Would you go with us?
Yeah.
I just don't want to do it at 100-degree weather where it's so humid.
No, wait a minute. That's when Bigfoot's out there.
Oh, yeah.
Dogman. He ain't got air conditioner.
They like the cold, too.
Well, he ain't got air conditioner.
If they're migration, you got to figure out when. Mm-hmm. You got to know when they're there if it's migration. But I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go over there. And we're going to do this trip. And it's not going to be live to the show, but I will do some video. And then we come back, we'll talk about it and show video. We'll come back and do it. Ricky, we're all going to go.
That's right.
I've got a camper if you want one.
Don't need a camper. We're going to rough it.
We'll rough it. I'll sleep whatever you want to sleep.
We're going to rough it.
But I guarantee you, just in case, somebody's ass going to be awake during the night, we're going to go to guard shift.
As long as you have a four-wheel drive or a vehicle pointed outward that we can get into pretty quickly. I'm all for it.
I'm going to be honest with you. I will come weaponed up because, it'd
be silly not to.
Yeah, well, for any other reason. If it is a dog man we see, it's going to be on record. They say, if it's a dog man, and we're pretty sure it's a dog man, I will have a gun capable of putting it in the back of that truck.
On that south end, we need to.
Technically, you're not supposed to.
Well, technically, there's a lot of things, but I'm going to put a rumor to it.
Yeah.
But only way we can get a shot at it if it's attacking us, and you got the right to defend yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
Understood,
So the only way we're going to be able to see this thing is it's going to be trying to get to us like it did Mr. Groves, right?
Yeah.
He shot at it. So we're going to be saying, I'm not going to go out there looking through the woods wanting to shoot. I'm saying if we see it, but what you've told me tonight, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be attacking us. It did Mr. Groves, and it did that one you wrote the book about. Both times it attacked people. And if we see it, it's going to be on us. And I'm going to have the firepower to stop it.
Yeah.
Because my friends ain't going to get hurt out there over no damn dog, man.
And a vehicle pointed out.
We'll have plenty of vehicles there. Hey, everybody comes in my studio, they want to know one thing. We're in trouble back here, and Terry's probably in on this too. It says, guys trip, Don and I are going shopping. We'll have a hell of a bill when we get back, boy.
We just cost ourselves.
I tell you what, Terry's a trooper. When we first met, I dragged her out to the Mayaca Swamp, and if you know anything about Mayaca, Florida, it's loaded with gators.
Right.
And it was 85, almost 90 degrees in the daytime, and went down to 31 at night. And she stuck it out there with me.
Oh, yeah.
And she still married me.
Here's a funny thing. The first date Dana and I ever went on was LBL.
Yeah.
LBL. Everybody comes in my studio, wants to know, because you're in a Brewer Street Mafia studios. Everybody says, man, am I part of the Mafia now? Can I be part of the Mafia? Well, I got to vet you. I got to talk to you and find out, because I am the Godfather.
Podfather.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make you an official member of the Brewer Street Mafia. You read that, it tells you what it says. Can you see that without your glasses?
Yes. Uh-huh.
It tells
I like
you,
that.
It tells you that you are an official member of the Brewer Street Mafia.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome to the
appreciate
club.
that.
Well, Steve, I appreciated it. We've had a good conversation.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir.
Steve, it's been a pleasure.
Kevin, I'm glad you come out here.
I'm glad I was able to come out here.
I know it.
Yeah.
And
where's my chip?
Nah, I got to like you first. Brother, what do you think?
It's always fun.
It's
we're going camping now.
Yes,
we're going camping.
Well,
Do
let's
you
pick a
have time
day.
to give away a book? I got one here I'll autograph.
Yes. Can I hold it and do it next week?
Sure. That'll
I
work.
want
great.
you to autograph this book
I'll
live
do
on
it.
TV, and I'll give it away next week. Here's your marker.
Okay.
That's
I got one there.
Oh, that's a Donald Trump marker.
That's a magic marker. You want to do it with a magic marker?
I can.
That would look better. He's going to
There you
sign
go.
this book.
Be the Donald Trump marker.
But, folks, hey, there you go.
And he's a lefty, too. No wonder we love him.
Yeah. We've been talking about the massacre in LBL. I've had the author of the book, Steve Causey, been sitting here with me. And we talked about Mr. Groves. What was his name, first name?
Martin Groves.
Martin Groves, I forgot. He is a retired police officer, a chief deputy out of Robeson County, Tennessee. They said he had an issue with LBL. So there's something over there. I give you the background of Mr. Causey here. He's not just a crazy gook. He's worked in television. He worked for Channel 2, Channel 4 News. He's been at CNN. He's been all over. So he's got some credibility. And Kevin Kehl, he had credibility till he started working with me. And now, I don't know. Look at him. Hell, he just dragging.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah, bringing shit up in here. I don't know what the hell he's bringing up in here. He took his shoe off.
I can't get any love around here.
Yeah, he took his shoe off. But anyway, we've been talking about Bigfoot, Dogman, and they're supposed to be the two different people. And what do you think? That's what I want you to do. I want you to tell us what you think is going on. But I got another thing. I'm going to talk to Elaine. And I'm going to find out, and Steve and I are going to set this all up, try to do it at the planetarium one Saturday night. And I want you, the viewer, to tell your family and your friends that we want you, if you've seen anything at LBL, and we can get this all set up, not in LBL, anywhere in that area, anywhere. I don't care. If you're within driving distance, come to us and tell us what, because I need to be convinced. I'm on the fence. I'm neutral. I don't know. I would be an idiot to sit here and say that there's not something like that out there, or I'd be easy to say there's not aliens neither, because, the universe is a big place, but I have not seen anything. Nor have I seen anything that says there isn't one. I'm just right down the middle. I ask the questions you want to know. But if you want us to do this show, let me know. I'll get it at LBL. Ricky and I got some connection over there. We'll try to set this up, and we have you come over there, and we'll have people stand up and tell what they've seen, and let's find out. Is there really a Bigfoot? Is there really a Dogman? I don't know. Verdict's still out. But I give you all the information tonight, and you, the viewer, can make your own mind up. That's what we try to do. Hey, don't forget, next week I got another great show, and I will bring this up to him. I've got Dr. Kevin Kehl coming in. He's going to tell us about evolution versus Christianity. He's a great, look him up before you come in. Kevin Kehl. Look his name. Ken Kehl. It's Kevin on my monitor. Okay, Ken Kehl. Okay. Look it up, and you'll know what I'm talking about. This guy is sharp as a tack. He comes in like I do, sideways, on farm, just crazy, but he's really got some good points. He's a real good debater. He believes in God. He says that the earth is not millions of years old. He talks about all that. He's going to be zooming in with me, and him and I are going to have a conversation about evolution versus Christianity, which one comes out on top. And we got a great show. Don't forget my other shows is coming on. What else we got here? Inside NASCAR on the Sportscast with Jeremy Buckley coming up Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Amanda Ellis will be there, the woman who shapes NASCAR's storyline. An exclusive Sportscast interview, Senior Director of Racing Communication with NASCAR. Her husband is a car chief for Brad Kozlowski. So tune in, folks. That's going to be a great show coming up Sunday. And Tennessee Day of Defiance, Dave, what is that name? Rentschler.
That's about the Battle of Athens. Have you heard about that Battle of Athens?
Tell about it.
The World War II veterans that came back after fighting the Nazis over there, they had to fight the corruption here in Tennessee, that they were not letting them vote. They weren't counting all their votes. Total corruption power grab in Athens, Tennessee.
It's been going on forever.
It was a huge thing. Cars on fire, turned upside down.
Yeah.
It's been an
That's
incredible
coming up
story.
Monday, November 10th. Don't miss it. If you haven't found it yet, go find Tennessee Informer, like him and share him. Another great show coming up. And I want to thank my crew in the back, and I got some in the front tonight. I want to thank Dana. Hold on, I got some more stuff here. The Peddler Advantage, TEC Customer Referral Program. I've talked about that. November 11th, special Veterans Day program at Trinity United Methodist Church. Everyone is welcome. November the 8th and 9th, Christmas in Paris. Shopping Extravaganza is back at the Paris Convention Center and Henry County Fairgrounds. 2 days, 2 locations, and over 100 vendors. You can buy your trophy like myself. His present. You got 2 days and 2 places. Yeah. Top shelf, baby. Top shelf. Anyway, don't forget, we simulcast live on Facebook, YouTube, and all the platforms. Don't forget it. Watch us, tune us. If you haven't done it yet, reach up there, find that little button that says follow, and do this. Push it.
Smash
and
it.
tell your friends to. And you hadn't done it on YouTube, do that too. Go find us. Run us up the poll. Get us up there. Get more views. The more viewers I get, the more people I can bring to you. And I want to thank my crew in the back. Kevin Kehl, Scott Norwood, Billy Busey, and Dana Allen. Without them, I couldn't do what I do tonight. I want to thank my good friend Ricky Price
Always
for
a
the
pleasure.
great giveaway tonight. Billy Busey, Beline Burton, she won her 4 tickets to Murray State University, courtesy Ricky Price and
Thank
Pepsi
you.
Mid-America.
Thank you, Mike.
I appreciate all you do for us, brother.
Always
Appreciate
a
your
pleasure.
friendship, man.
Always a pleasure, brother.
And thank you again, Mr. Causey. There'll be a part 2 to this. I hear it coming.
Oh, yeah, especially after we do our little camping trip.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do a camp.
I'm looking forward to that.
Y'all want to go this weekend? I'll be camping this
Not
weekend.
this weekend. I'm slammed this
He'll
weekend.
always have a damn reason he can't go. All right, folks. I appreciate you tuning in.
Don't go when it's hot.
I appreciate all my sponsors. Hey, without y'all guys, I couldn't do what I do. And thank you, the viewer. Like I said, find us, follow us, share us, run us up the poll, turn the flag on, and flop it. But do this important thing for me. Tune in next week. Same time, same place, and like I always say, y'all help me. Don't be late. Well, Steve, what do you think?
Very good.